What's going on, everybody? Friday night, bass fishing, HellaBass live, punch fishing live, happened at the same time, depending on where you're coming from.
Sorry. Yeah, how's it going, man?
Pretty
Happy Friday, start of the weekend, eh?
Absolutely.
Halloween weekend.
It is Halloween weekend. Do you do the Halloween as an adult?
No. Funny you mention that because like we don't normally do any Halloween. Like I got kids, but my kids are. I have a 13-year-old and an 11-year-old, and the 13-year-old is now graduated out of Halloween. She thinks it's not cool anymore, but my 11-year-old still wants to do it. So I'll probably take him out trick or treating. But like I've never really been into the Halloween parties for adults. But we did get invited to one on Saturday, and I had a costume. My wife had a costume. We were like locked and loaded. And then today the guy sent out a message, be like, "Yeah, we have COVID, so it's canceled." So no party.
We'll just put that on a hanger, and hopefully there's one next year. Or if there's anybody in the metro area that's looking to fill spots at a Halloween party, go ahead and send Brian a DM.
There you go. Yeah, I'm in. I have my costumes locked and loaded.
He'll bring the robo worms.
That would be a good you could I don't know, gummy worms look a lot like robo worms, so you could you could find a tie in there.
Lots of familiar faces.
Ooh.
Lots of members here. I see Daniel, Caro, 10 and 10 video audio. So it looks like we're rocking and rolling. Got my router reset, so hopefully it's a good evening.
Yeah, right. My internet was being a little wonky earlier, but it seems to be okay now. I hope.
I think the big thing I was struggling for topics, and I just
it's fall, man. There's a lot to talk about.
I got some opinions on the BPT and the 5 fish, so
me too.
We'll get into that. But we can talk about a few other things while people are calling here. But that'll kind of talk about Oktoberfest.
No, I just got to have an Oktoberfest beer this time. I don't love Oktoberfest, but you feel like you should have one. Surly makes a good Oktoberfest. This is actually one of the few I really like. What about you? What are you drinking?
It is the standard Kraken and Diet Dr. Thunder.
Oh, that's right. You're a Kraken. You're a dark rum fan. You like the Kraken.
So Chris, a few fellow other Iowas. So we were in Cancun for 9 days, and I was home for just a few minutes, basically, and then had to fly out to Rochester or Corning, New York, and then up to Rochester.
Oh, nice.
For work. So there's an airport called Elmira in New York, which is like 15 minutes from Corning. Kind of a sleepy little four-gate.
Never heard of it.
Yeah, but it's 4-gate airport, right?
Yeah, right.
So it's like flying into like Eau Claire. That would be the equivalent. It's probably not even as big as maybe St. Cloud. So I was like a little skeptical, but I went after I booked my ticket because I was meeting another colleague that already would have a car, was going to be there the night before.
Yep.
And I was like, well, it's 15 minutes. I'll get an Uber, a taxi, something to the hotel, and then ride with them, right? No sense renting a car, right? And so I checked Lyft when I was in Mexico, and I could see that it showed that there was cars. But I was a little this is not a huge populated area. So I get there. So I had a 3-hour scheduled layover in Detroit because there's not a lot of flights into Elmira, as you may imagine.
Were you going right from MSP
to No, there? It was through Detroit.
Oh, wow. Oh, you had to connect?
So I was 3-hour connection in Detroit.
Yikes.
But then there was mechanical, so we were like 45 minutes delayed. So instead of getting at 10:30, we got in at 11:15. And so I pull up the Lyft app. It seems like it's working. And it's not really all of a sudden it's try again in a few minutes. And I'm like, uh-oh. So I start I walk across the street to this cab. He's like, nope, I already got a passenger. He takes off. And I'm like, oh, okay. And I'm go inside, call the numbers. None of the cabs answer their number. I check the Uber. It says it has no drivers. It's now 11:30. And I'm like,
you're stuck.
Starting to look at chairs where am I going to be sitting tonight? And waiting for my, I messaged my coworker. They were already asleep. Asked Avis budget was the only one open. They're like, nope, that was our last car. And then there's this one last guy. And I'm like, dude, any chance you're going towards Corning? He's like, I got no idea, but jump in. Turns out he's from Northwest Iowa, like up by like the
No way.
Sioux City, Sioux Falls, kind of the Northwest Iowa, and super good dude. We talked a little bit about work and outdoors and fishing. He actually has a place up on Big Stone. So
there you go. You made a hookup.
So shout out to John. I think his name was John.
We'll call him John.
We'll call him John.
Cheers to John for
no chance that he's watching, but shout out to him and the good people of Iowa.
Cheers to John in Iowa for not making you sleep at the airport.
Yeah, and not being an axe murderer, so that I could be here for a Friday Night Live.
That's what's important, for sure. Yeah. Let's see how many. Oh, we got a few people already in here.
Over 100, it looks like combined. So that's good time. Yeah, welcome back. Thank you.
I haven't been on a live on anyone's stream in a minute, so this is kind of gonna knock the cobwebs off here.
I think Army Outdoors got his package before I left, so he wanna. Speaking of that, I do have a little something here. So I got an Arsenal fitted hat.
Nice. Oh, that's the Flex Fit?
I think Flex Fit, I guess.
Yeah, those are
Flex Fit. That. I'm gonna throw in a slither rig type or punch. What do they call their punch rig?
You know, we gotta talk about that.
Okay, and then I got a buff, one of their camo stickers.
I want a buff. I don't have a buff.
Some bang sticks. So we'll give that away later. So stick around.
Everything that you just listed is very usable. Like all that's good stuff. Like
I don't give away trash here. It's a first class operation.
I normally like to have something to give away, but you hit me up last minute, and I would literally have to just go digging around through my archive on.
Or you can just say that I'll put something together later.
I could, yeah, I could throw a. I got about 7,000 Vision 110s sitting around.
There you go.
I could cherry pick one.
Give away a couple of what are their what's their prestige colors or respect. You could give away some respect colors.
I have done that actually. So people have helped me out on certain things here and there, and I have like a little archive of cool respect colors, and I just like, here, take this. Like I've used it as payment for people helping me out with things, so they do come in handy having them laying around once in a while.
Thank you, Rich G. Yeah. So let's see here.
Yeah, we got a lot of. Yeah, what's everyone up to tonight? What do you guys? This is happy hour. Rich is hitting the rum. I got a little. If you guys are whiskey nerds, I got some Mickers. I can never say it right. So I got a little bourbon, neat with some ice. Keeping it simple tonight.
So yeah, that was. I don't know what was that. Just breaking today or the last couple days? The Tackle Trap has decided to close its doors.
That was today. So yeah, we could talk about it. I'm sure there's a lot of people in the chat who have probably heard of Tackle Trap, if not bought things from them. Because I mean, if you're into like Daiwa or certain types like tricking out reels, like they were like the place to get parts for tricking out Daiwa reels, or even their repair shop is great. Like I've had stuff fixed by them. Yeah, it's a bummer. They're closing up. I got some intel on that. Specifically, I mean, this is not going to shock you, but places overextended based on their sales from 2021 into 2022. So this is not just to Tackle Trap, but this is like a lot of places did this, like boat dealers, RV dealers, places had banging sales in 2021. They ordered a lot, and then they're stuck with all this stuff in 2022 when the economy, took a dive, and suddenly they are sitting on all this inventory and the bills are piling up. And so from what I understand, the Tackle Trap closure is strictly financial. It was their sales over the summer did not recoup the expenditures, and it kind of it's forcing them to close. Like it's because they're going into winter. I mean, at the end of the season, if at the end of summer, if you haven't done your sales numbers that you need to do to stay afloat, do you just lose money or do you close? Right? I mean, you got to make a tough decision, I guess. But yeah, it's brutal.
Yeah, and I mean, obviously they're in a prime location from a physical standpoint. They're right on the upper end of Gunnersville, I believe, up towards Scottsboro. So like, it's not like they are online only. They are at a pretty prime location for actual foot traffic in a pretty bass centric part of the country. So that is kind of disappointing.
Yeah, it's not a good bellwether, that's for sure. If a shop like Tackle Trap is having issues, I mean, what does that say for shops that have less maybe prestige or following as Tackle Trap? You know what I mean? Like, to me, it's like if they're having problems, that kind of says a lot about like what's going on with the mom and pop tackle shops right now, right?
Unless it was their demand planning was that terrible that they got
really
over, unless they were just too overzealous and
yeah, no, totally. It's what's up, Devo?
You shouted out the people of Iowa earlier, Debo. So
yeah, Devo, our favorite. What do you call Iowa people? Iowans?
Iowegian. I think that's the technical term.
Iowegians. All right. Yeah. What's up, Devo? But yeah, it sucks. I mean, I think Tackle Trap is one of those shops where they found a really good lane of being specialty. You know, weird MegaBass stuff, weird Daiwa stuff, parts. Like they had a lot of stuff that most tackle shops didn't have, so they were really kind of like outside the lines a little bit. And yeah, I think it's definitely it sucks for the bass industry if they're not around.
Well, that doesn't sound right, Chris. I'm pretty sure it's Iowegian.
Listen to Minnesotans. We know these things. But yeah, I mean, yeah, it sucks though. It's all, but so anyway, if anyone's wondering, Tackle Trap, it's all money. It's just financial. They just couldn't keep their doors open. They had a rough summer. Sales didn't meet what they were hoping to. And a lot of people, there's a lot of people at that shop that had to find new jobs. So it kind of sucks.
Yeah, for sure. But I guess on the short-term upside is that you can grab stuff, 30% off from there. They have
yeah, they're doing a 30% off everything on almost everything on their website. Now I don't know about this, but from every time I've seen a store close, it starts out at 30%, and as it goes on, suddenly it's more than that. So I don't know if that's what they're going to do, but I'm just saying, like, if I were local to Tackle Trap and I wanted a deal, I would definitely be going to that shop like this weekend and trying to work out some deals on their remaining inventory. So if you're close to Tackle Trap, I would definitely be swinging by there to see if you can scoop up some.
Yeah, but I mean, like, do they have any restrictions on like Shimano or MegaBass or anything right now? Or?
I haven't had a chance to sit. I heard all this when I was out on the water today, so I was actually fishing today, and I haven't really checked out their website. But I've heard that the 30% off code is blocked on MegaBass rods. I don't know about tackle. I don't know. Someone can go check it out. But yeah, it's.
I mean, I guess you wouldn't really worried about pissing off your vendors at this point,
right? Yeah, yeah, exactly. The MSRP or holding to map doesn't really matter when you're closing.
But it does. I mean, like, if it really was just one off summer, then maybe they weren't.
Like I said, there's always devils in the details when companies have issues. We don't know the deal. There could be a completely different story than the one I was told.
Right.
You never know. 100%.
I'm sure that's part of it, but there could have been other things.
You never know. The guy who owns the place could have had a bad weekend at the casino. You never know I'm not saying that happened, but I'm just saying anytime a business closes, unless you know the personal people that own it, or you've seen the books, or you know the story, it's always question marks, right? But from what I've been told by someone at Tackle Trap is they had a rough summer sales wise.
So that was definitely the straw, regardless of what other was behind it.
Yep. And physical stores are tough, man. You got to pay a lot of bills. You know, you got to pay rent, you got to pay insurance, you got expenditures when you have
tackle's not. I mean, I'm sure there's other. I mean, obviously retail and in general, right? To hold inventory is not cheap.
Right. You got to turn it over. Yeah, exactly.
I mean, best case you get 30 days, right? And you.
So I'll say that they're not the only tackle shop that this has happened to this summer. There's local shops here in Minnesota. Starts with a C, ends in Apras. They ordered a lot of stuff in the spring, figuring they were going to blow it all out at the spring north sports shows, and then they were just going to have a lot of business all spring. They're still sitting on a lot of inventory coming into winter. So, you know, a lot of companies or a lot of tackle shops did get excited based on the pandemic sales, and you know, things did not go the same in 2022, as we all know.
Actually, Debo, we're talking about Tackle Trap. Announced that they are closing today, but the gander is like there was some amazing deals Several times for Gander Mountains.
I'm still using stuff that I got on the Gander closing sale. I still have line.
I still like right here.
I still have fishing line, like fluorocarbon, that I'm still trying to go through from the. You got a bag.
This was like one of the early ones. This is like true tungsten. So this was
gosh.
2008 vintage closeout at Gander Mountain, where I just stocked up on tungsten. I mean, like, it's like investing in precious metals, right? Like, it's like buying gold, right? I mean, tungsten.
Like buying gold. Says the guy who sells tungsten jigs. You know, I will say on the Gander thing, it was dangerous when Gander was going out of business, because one of the stores that they were cycling a lot of the clearance stuff through was down the street from an office that I used to work at. So on lunch break, I would literally jump in my car, go down the street, grab all the stuff I could at Gander, and I did it like every day. I was like, this is my lunch break. I'm just going to go to Gander and see what new stuff came in. And I was getting all of the good stuff the day it came in. So like I spent a lot of money, and I'm still trying to go through the stuff that I bought during that sale. Yep, fall 30 is the code. Yeah, so help Tackle Trap out. If you guys are watching the stream and you need some stuff, especially Trick Daiwa stuff, they have a really good selection of Strike King too. So just go on Tackle Trap, buy stuff with the fall 30 code, help them clean the store out. Do them a favor.
I like Shields stores, not a fan of their website.
Shields stores are awesome. They're so
but like
fun.
The website I was not impressed with.
Dude, when I go to a Shield store, I spend about 5% of my time in the fishing section. They have so much other cool stuff. Like I'm going through all the clothes. I'm going through all the like camping stuff. Like they have so much cool stuff there that I just breeze through the fishing section and I go to everything else.
Maybe Omnia is why Tackle Trap went out of business.
I don't know. That's a tough one because
it makes you wonder though, like Omnia has been a little bit of a disruptor in the retail. I'm not saying like they definitely took market share.
Oh yeah.
Like 100%. How much of that is from Tackle Warehouse? How much of that is from like Bass Pro, Shields, Cabela's, and how much of that is from the other Tackle Trap, Scottsboro, Hookup, right? Like, and so like, you know, they appear to be growing and making a lot of headway. So, you know, that
got my Hookup Tackle Bento Box today, and I already opened it. So if you guys want to know what's in the Bento Box this month, I can tell you.
We can take a look at it.
Yeah, we'll go through that. We'll go through it in a minute. I will say, for me personally, I don't know. I mean, it's different from every person, right? Omnia is from Minnesota, so obviously a lot of Minnesotans are very familiar with their brand at this point. But like, wait, give away a Metanium. Debo's got Metaniums he's giving away Metaniums on our stream. Thanks, Debo. But yeah, I think I'll say this personally. I used to spend probably $500 to $1,000 a year at Tackle Warehouse, at least in just tackle. I'm not talking rods, reels, like just tackle. In 2022, I did one Tackle Warehouse order. One. Like that's how much I've found other places to buy stuff. So I would say, and a majority of that's been with Omnia, obviously, but I've been buying other places like Hookup, Tackle Trap. Summerland Outdoors is a great shop too. I've been buying stuff from them. So the point is, like, you got a lot of it's competitive out there nowadays. It really is.
But like, if I can find it at Omnia, I pretty much buy it from Omnia.
Oh yeah, totally. Thanks, Basson. I like Omnia because of the shipping. I mean, they ship so fast. And we're blessed in Minnesota where if we order from Omnia, we will literally get it the next day. Like I'll put an order in the morning, and by lunch the next day, it's sitting on my door. It's just dangerous.
But I talk to other people occasionally, like viewers, listeners, people in the community that are in like, you know, Louisiana or Florida or Georgia, like, and it's like they all get their stuff in like 2-3 days with free shipping.
Oh yeah, it's awesome. And what I like, I mean, I don't know, we don't have to go into an Omnia commercial, but they're doing a lot of stuff that other shops aren't, which does, like what you said, disrupt, right? Like they're doing things that now everyone either has to do them or has to be aware that Omnia is doing them and factor that in, right? So Little Midge says, I'm from Wisconsin. Monday order gets to me Wednesday. Yeah, that's great.
Daniel says 2 to 3 days to Kentucky.
Yeah, that sounds about right. My Omni orders. Yeah. So anyway, yeah. So that's a good news topic. Tackle Trap's closing. So RIP Tackle Trap.
Good
Great
news,
job.
or I mean, a bad news topic. But
yeah, well, it's in the fishing news. My phone was blowing up today. Like I had so many people messaging me and go, "Did you guys know Tackle Trap's closing?" I was like, "What?" Like I had no idea until today, until they posted on Instagram. So it sucks. That's why I was wearing the hat today. RIP. I have a Tackle Trap sticker on one of my fish finder covers on my boat. So they've been good to me. They're a great company. I'm curious what some of the Tackle Trap people are going to do now. You know what I mean? Like I want to.
You know how many people work there? I don't even.
I think 6 to 8 is what I think is the ballpark. I always contacted through Gary at Tackle Trap, Gary Wood, and then obviously everyone knows Brian Spanky Lambert, who's on like all the things. Like everyone knows Spanky, right? But yeah. Andrew Olson, I get my Omni order in about 5 minutes. That's cheating, my friend.
Why does it take him? Why are you that slow at picking your own order?
Yeah, he works there. He's an Omnia employee. So
we got insiders.
So yeah. Let's talk about some. What else is in the news? Kanye? No, I'm just kidding.
Well, Omnia is moving. So if you didn't hear that, I want to say like it's coming up. I don't remember the exact dates. I think it's on their website, but like tomorrow, today, the next couple days, like they're shutting down for 3 days, 6 days where they won't ship.
The first week in November, they're kind of moving their shipping department, I believe, to the new place. So like their systems are going to be disrupted a little bit because they literally got to pick stuff up and move it to another building. So they're going to have a window where orders that are made during that window are going to have to be waited. They're not going to be able to fulfill those orders until the end of the window when they got their stuff moved over. So they're giving themselves like a week to get everything shifted. So yeah, I'll just say this real quick. If you guys don't know, Omnia bought a small section of a warehouse when they first started. Then they bought the other half of this warehouse they were in as they grew. Then they extended out to the end of the building, and now they are out of room. Like they're trying to hire more people. They don't have office space. They're running out of rack space to expand the SKUs. So they are moving to a whole new warehouse where they have way more office space so all the people that they've hired in the last year can have their own desks and things. So they're expanding. So that's a good sign, right? Like that's a good problem to have. We're out of room, right? Like as a business, you're a logistics guy. You know this. It's like, you want to run out of room.
And part of the reason they weren't restocking certain things and they weren't adding new products is because they literally didn't have a place to do it. So now for those that were excited about the amount of SKUs they're adding this year, expect that to continue next year.
I'll give you an example of how they were out of space. If you go to Omnia's warehouse, like in the last couple of months, they're putting tape on the floor and then piling things up on piles on the floor. And then that's the code for the location. The bins for the locations or stuff, because they can't put things on shelves. They're just putting things on the floor and marking where it is. So
Austin, it's right there. See it? It's going.
Yeah.
It's also in the description of the videos. You can find it. Good point by Debo. It does not cost you anything to hit the thumbs up, whether you're watching on Punch Fishing or HellaBass tonight.
Yeah, this is Rich's stream, so hit his likes.
It doesn't
for
matter.
Sure. Omni in the news with the move, Tackle Trap in the move with the closure. That sucks. It's like you want all these tackle shops to grow and expand, right? Like you don't want any signs that the fishing industry is not doing great. And I definitely would say Tackle Trap closing is not a good sign, right? Like you want to see our sport and what we love just exploding, right? And it's tough.
Yeah. What's up, TJ?
Tackle Junkie. What's up? I like that guy.
Although John D is saying there might be some of the guys doing something. So
I hope so, man. They know their stuff. If
sometimes, right, like when it gets into a bad situation, you got to like clean the slate because you can't carry the baggage, right? So maybe these guys are going to come back in another way.
Okay. We're at 46 likes on the feed on your channel right now. If we can get to 100 likes, I am going to go into
100.
my 100 likes. I am going to go into my Vision 110 archive, and I will hand select a Vision 110, and I will mail it to someone tonight. So we'll do a giveaway if we can get to 100 likes. So we're halfway there. So we're at 52.
And if we get to 200, TJ will give away a Titanium. And if we get to 300, Debo will give away one too. I can't guarantee that, but the 100 we can guarantee. That is for real.
Yeah, we'll do a giveaway. We'll run the thing where everyone does a message. If we get to 100 likes, we'll give away a limit. I'm not going to give away a 110 that's like anybody can get now. We'll do a limited edition one.
Like, so it'll be one that they literally can't get it new, right? You would have had to get it, or you'd have to get it on
the market,
the secondary market. You'd have to get it in a flippers market.
Correct. Somebody said I should give away the baby Kingo. No, that's not going to happen. That's like a $250 110. I'm going to find something a little more modest. If we get to a higher like count, maybe. That's funny. But yeah, what else? What do people
baseball,
talk about?
Right? The World Series started tonight.
It's on right now. What's the score?
Nobody cares. It's baseball.
I care if the Houston Astros lose because nobody likes the Astros, right?
Gramps, I don't know if you've tried the new Shimano with the World jerk baits with the little flashy flippy things in them.
No, I have. Okay, so funny you say that. So I've played with the Shimano popper. The popper with the little flash boost in there, that caught a lot of fish. So I went to this YMCA camp up in northern Minnesota where I had to fish from the bank, and that's the only popper I took with me. And that thing was catching smallmouth left and right. So the World popper is definitely good. It walks real nice. The Shimano popper is actually really good. It's kind of expensive, but it walks really nice. So it's like it's one of those dual purpose poppers where you can just pop it or walk it, right? That's kind of what you want in like a popper that's over $10. So that and it had good hooks out of the box too. So that's a good bait. So close your ears and eyes if you are a Bento Box subscriber and you don't want to know what's in the box this month, but they included one of their cranks, the Macbeth. Do you know anything about this?
The square bill? Yeah.
So this is the Macbeth 75. It's 3/4 ounce shallow runner, 3 to 5 feet.
I saw him on the guy in Colorado does a stream. I can't think of his name, but he's kind of showed them out. They look pretty good.
What's interesting is the eyes. This is always an eye pattern you see with like the custom balsa guys. They always do the little googly eyes. I thought that was kind of interesting, but that profile looks very like. All the guys who make the custom balsa flat sides always kind of use this kind of profile.
It's kind of that old, like, Bagley. Right.
So anyway, I have not tried the jerkbait. This is the first squirrel bill I've tried from Shimano, but I have tried the popper, and the popper is legit. So
TJ says he loves that square bill. I agree. Baseball is what I want. Yeah, hook sets are free. That's what I was trying to think of, Daniel. Thank you.
Yeah, so I don't know. But we're running out of open water here to try this. So I don't think I'm going to be able to try this until spring. So yeah, the Macbeth, which is a weird name. Why do they call it Macbeth? Are they big Shakespeare fans at Shimano? You know what I mean? Like, I'd love to hear the reasoning behind some of the naming that they do.
Fish in the Southeast says the Macbeths are amazing. Been using them for 2 years.
There you go. They look nice. It looks like a nice big square bill. I'm definitely going to throw it.
Should have threw it today on pool 2. That would have been a good place for a square billing.
So the guy I was fishing with, Mike, he was throwing a Excalibur square bill in a craw color, and he was catching them pretty good. And I was throwing a spinnerbait and catching them pretty good. So we're kind of like one was throwing a crank, I was throwing a spinnerbait. But yeah, this absolutely would have got bit on the river today if I was throwing it.
What's up, John? Jonathan? Came and got the trolling motor today. Gave him a stellar deal on a Fortrex today that I won.
Oh, my tournament partner jumped in the chat, Josh.
I see that.
That's funny. What's up, Josh?
I had to read Shakespeare in school. I know who it is.
I am not a Shakespeare. Yeah, the ecstasy. I got an ecstasy.
Do you know more about Shakespeare fishing rods and reels or Shakespeare the poet?
Neither. Neither. I am not I know Romeo and Juliet and I know Macbeth, but that's basically the only two Shakespeare plays that I actually have seen anything like. I've seen the movies and I've seen the plays and stuff, but outside of Shakespeare and outside of Macbeth, I don't. Or, I'm sorry, outside Romeo and Juliet and outside Shakespeare, I don't know anything about other, like Taming of the Shrew. I don't know. Like, I think I've read it. I don't remember. But yeah, the ecstasy. So I consulted with you on which ecstasy I should buy, and you led me down the correct path. Thank you.
Shouldn't be surprised.
I asked the Dobbins Whisperer which ecstasy I should buy, and it was a good decision.
And you got the 754 C,
four power. Yeah, the 754. So, yeah, I wanted something that kind of fits my wheelhouse, because then I can test it against other stuff that I have. And yeah, I have been really happy with that rod. Really happy. I'm surprised that I would like it this much, but it is a really, really nice rod.
For those that aren't in the know, Brian hasn't been the kindest, or hasn't been the his critiques of other Dobbins rods haven't been as kind in the past. Now that, not that it's been a large sample size either. It's basically one other rod that you tried.
Yeah, well, no. So I've experimented with Dobbins over the years. The Champions, they're okay. I don't like the HPs at all. I think the HPs for the price point are not great. The Ecstasy, though, I picked up from Omnia, from our friends at Omnia, and I wanted to try, because people have been asking me for years to. You got to try.
You are a gear snob, so it only makes sense why they would ask you.
It is true. It was inevitable. So I picked up the Ecstasy, and I will say I do like it. I've been fishing football jigs with it. I've been fishing just regular. I just been jigging with it in this fall, and it's been fun to use. I know people might find this blasphemous, but I also am using the 894 NRX Plus, and I kind of actually like the Ecstasy a little better because they're both 7.5 jig rods. The NRX 894 is a little more powerful. It's more for ½ ounce and plus, so you could go like half, 5/8, 3/4. But like for that ½ ounce range, the Ecstasy it's really, really nice for less money than the NRX Plus, right? You know, over what the NRX Plus is 630, 625, something like that, and the NRX or the Ecstasy is 500, right? So over $100 less for the Ecstasy. It's a nice stick. I'm going to be doing a video on it at some point. You have the 755.
755.
So you got the heavier one.
Yeah, it's Daniel, I feel like I see him on my chat in my YouTube studio, but I don't see him on the StreamYard.
What's that?
The member icons. Yeah, I got the 755, so 1 power heavier than what you have.
What do you think of that rod? Tell me what you think.
It's solid. I like it. I feel like sometimes I almost set the hook too fast sometimes. Like, I don't know. It's a little weird. Like, I mean, I like it. It's good, but I do feel like I miss a few more fish, and I'm wondering if I'm like on them too quick. But it's overall, I mean, it's a good rod. I mean, I just don't. I mean, if you've got the money and you want to treat yourself, the Ecstasies are sweet rods. But I have a hard time. I don't know. I feel like I don't want to over promote it and like hype it, because I don't feel like anybody needs to spend $550. Like,
no, absolutely not.
Are you going to catch more bass because you buy an Ecstasy instead of a Champion?
No.
Like it's a treat yourself. I mean, yeah, it's like a, if you like fancy things and you want fancy things to fish with, like, I mean, you would be much better off spending money on a Megabass 110 over a $8 Walmart jerkbait. You're going to catch more fish because you spent the money on a 110 than splurging on a rod. Is it a really nice rod? Yes, absolutely. It's a treat to fish with.
So I have moved on from the fact of like, you should spend money elsewhere. Like, I look at stuff now as just a product. Like, here's the product. Like, whether you should buy it or not, to me is kind of irrelevant, because if you're looking at this, you probably have enough. Like if you're seriously looking at an ecstasy, you probably can afford it, right? You know what I mean? So like I don't hang up too much about like you shouldn't buy this because you could get 5 of the other things. Everybody's different, right? But I try to just look at it as they produced a product and they are pricing it like this. Is the product worthy of the price point, and does it perform as it should for that price point, right? Like that's really the question.
So and I don't have I mean I've picked up a couple other NRXs that other people have had. I've never owned an NRX,
right?
So like I have a hard time saying that any rod is truly worth $500-$600. But if you compare it to other $500-$600 rods in its price point, it stacks up.
That's what you nailed it. So here's what I would say. After using an ecstasy for like the last month, it is as good as any of the rods in that $500 to $600 range. It's as good as MegaBass P5s. It's as good as NRXs. It's as good or better than X Brides, which are like 300-ish. Like I'm just saying, like for the price point that it's punching at, it definitely is. It's good. Like you can say, yes, this is a high-end rod, I guess is my point. Like an ecstasy definitely does live up to the price. Whether you want to pay that or not is a completely different question. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But you're not going to feel ripped off if you buy it and you're like, I don't know, you might feel it. I mean, everyone feels differently, right? But like to me, if you think like, oh, I want to spring for this, is this a good purchase? I can absolutely say after using XC for a better part of a month, I would say yes. It's acceptable for the price, which I didn't think I would say, to be honest.
Yeah, you should put big game on it.
Big game. Yeah, a couple things I noticed with the ecstasy. Number one, it is a really fast blink. Like there is not a lot of, at least in the one I have, there's not a lot of like moderate parabolic JDM style bend that you get with like a MegaBass rod. It is straight fast. It's like power tip. You know what I mean?
It's
like,
got a good tip on it, but it gets into it fast. Yeah.
Right. Like when I was watching a video, so I set a hook on like a 3.5-ish pound smallmouth dragging a jig. And I watched the video clip of where that rod flexes. And it's literally just like this, just the tip. Like the rod doesn't bow over at all. It's just like tip. That's it.
Somebody's texting me about going fishing tomorrow. I thought that's rude.
Are you going to go? The weather's good tomorrow.
I definitely want to get out at least once, if not both days. I kind of would like to maybe do a short largie trip tomorrow and then maybe chase smallies on Sunday. But I think...
Where are you going to go smallie chasing?
Probably to a river.
What's that?
Probably to a river.
Yeah. Go to pool. Pool 2.
Probably not there, but it actually looks pretty good most of the week. Like we should be.
This weekend's looking gorgeous.
Like we're in the 60s all week, so like smallies will definitely still be biting next weekend.
And people are already talking about the wind reports on Mille Lacs on Sunday. Mille Lacs is going to be like pretty calm on Sunday. So if Sunday is decent weather plus decent wind, I think a lot of bass dudes are going to be running to Mille Lacs on Sunday.
Go get yourself some Minnesota rigs at Omnia and head up to Mille Lacs.
Get a blade bait. Get a blade bait and a Ned rig and a Minnesota rig and go out.
I don't think it's cold enough to even.
No, I don't know if the blade bite is really kicking off yet, but. Why get the ecstasy over an NRX though? That's a good question. I would say that has to be a rod to rod comparison because there's a lot of great rods in the NRX line and there's a lot of okay rods in the NRX line, which I'm guessing is probably the same. But why? Well, ecstasy is cheaper, right? Like over $100 cheaper than NRX.
What's the warranty? I don't know. What is Loomis's warranty replace or what's the NRX?
Lifetime. At least it has been. So
like free replacement?
No. So they'll do a warranty replacement if it's a defect, but if you are dumb and you just break it, it's like $125. Don't quote me on this, but I think it's $125. And you go on their website. So I replaced the NRX spinning rod this summer. I broke it and I shut a door. I literally shut my truck door, and the butt of the rod was sticking out, and it cracked it. So it was my fault. So you go to Loomis's portal.
Mm-hmm.
You tell them you want a replacement. They actually send you the latest version of the rod, so they'll send you an NRX Plus regardless. And then you put the old one in the tube and send it back. And if you send it back and they get it, you only get charged for the 125 or whatever it is to replace the rod. But if you don't return it, they will ring up your credit card for the entire MSRP of a new NRX. Does that make sense?
Yeah. Ecstasy is the same. It's 125, basically the same program for an Ecstasy.
Yeah. So it's great because I had a really old beat to crap NRX spinning rod and that's what I shut in the door handle. And for $125, I basically got the newest, latest, greatest version that was. So to me, I was actually kind of excited. I was like, oh, I get to replace this old beat up NRX with like the brand new, latest, greatest one for $125. So yeah, they're probably really similar, Dobyns and NRX, as far as warranty goes. The Ecstasy, you're getting Torzite guides, which are way better than the guides that are on the NRX. Torzite is the creme de la creme of Fuji guides. It's the best product they make. They're very expensive guides. One of the reasons Ecstasies are expensive because the guides alone almost cost $200. So that's a win in the Ecstasy department. You're getting way better guides than the recoil guides on the NRX. Like as far as engineering and quality goes, they're better.
Nice. Yeah, we should. So we were going to talk about MLF, the 5 fish. So
yes, let's talk about that.
Just before we get into that, I do have some Arsenal stuff for the new people. We'll be giving away, regardless, some boomsticks, punch rig, buff, flex fit hat, and then you said if we get to 100 likes on my channel, which I'm seeing 75,
we're close.
So we need 25 more likes. If we get there, you are giving away.
I will go down into my personal 110 collection. I'll even do it live. I'll just run down it real quick, and I will select a Vision 110 jerkbait from a Respect drop, and I'll give away a limited edition, something that has value on the aftermarket. Like it's worth more than the $25 that it was to purchase it.
All right, cool. So yes, let's talk about it. So for those that don't know, earlier this week, while I was either on the way home from Mexico or still in Mexico, they announced that they are going from the every fish counts to a 5 fish limit. Now they're still going to keep their live weigh release. I think they're also tweaking the way they do their knockouts and those rounds. They're not going to always reset. I don't know. It's a little bit different. But that's the big change. They also, so like if you follow back a couple weeks ago, there was a lot of them on Instagram and social media that were like, what do you guys think? What should, right? They like did these like social media questions. A lot of the anglers did. And then
right,
like 2 weeks ago, there was an actual poll on the Major League Fishing website. And last time I remember seeing it was like 52% every fish counts, 48% 5 fish limit. It was like within a couple percentage points, but the one time I looked, I want to say every fish counts was still leading. And I guess there's been a lot of discussion on this. And I know after listening to a few other interviews with like Jordan Lee and a few other people, it sounds like several of the anglers were pushing for it, like the angler committee or their angler committee. Right. The majority of the anglers wanted to go 5 fish. Now, I'm not sure why their motivation is. I know in Jordan Lee's interview, he thought it would relate more to the core, roots, grassroots, the traditional bass fishing fan.
That's what Jacob said in his video too, basically.
Yeah. So, which is interesting, but the whole premise of BPT rewind 4 years ago was changing the game, reaching new audiences. It was the purest form of the game. It was the new way to fish, right? Like they had all of this stuff. So now in just 4 years, they're already back reeling all the way to the point, which I feel like is a little bit, I don't know. It rubs me the wrong way. It kind of feels like they're grasping at straws. To some degree, I feel like they have switched too much too fast. and I don't think they're really giving it time. Like I know some of the tradition, like some people get MLF. Like I think to the outside angler,
Right.
the new angler, MLF makes sense. It's like linear. It's it's like basketball. You just how many points can you score, right? Like it's like an NBA game. But for the traditional fishing fan, it's like confusing in their, they're like, wait, you fish 2 days and then you reset, and then if you win, you go to the end, and so it's like, and they keep, and so part of it I like that they tweak and they're trying to improve it, but I also feel like they're changing too much too fast, that they're not actually giving things a chance. Like I feel like they're kind of keep disrupting the apple cart on themselves versus building the brand and really sticking to it.
Right. So no, you summarized everything really well. So that's great. Moving too fast is interesting. Some might say that's a negative, but some people might say that's a positive. In business, typically moving fast and making quick decisions and changing course is sometimes a plus, right? Like it can help your business, right? Like sometimes you want to be stuck in something that isn't working, right? Like, so you could say like, oh, they're changing too quick as a pejorative, which is a great argument. You totally say like, are they letting this format simmer long enough to really see the fruits of that? But also you could say maybe they have data that says something needs to change now, right? What's interesting, I saw a lot of people like comment when this came out of like, oh, MLF is losing to bass and they need to change course to keep up or whatever. Got to remember, none of them post any of their statistics.
Well, even in it, like if you go BPT is impossible to look up results and statistics. Like you can see who the placement, but you can't see their weights. You can't see like.
That's not what I'm exactly talking about. I'm talking about like you don't know how many people are actually watching and engaging with either of the streams or any of their websites or any of their products, right? So like they have all the numbers. Like Bass knows exactly how many people watch and are engaged in their streams, how long they're watching, how many comments they make, how many times people share things. You got to remember, companies collect data on everything now, especially these kind of companies, right? They're media companies essentially, right? So Bass and MLF, they both know their audience. They know the data. All of it's got to be there, right? How many people are streaming? How many people are staying? How long people are engaged when they're streaming? What are they doing with the streams? Are they sharing it to people? Are they liking it? Are they making comments? Engagement numbers. None of that is public because all of that is information they use to attract advertisers and to set rates. So when they go and pitch, hey, you should advertise on our platform because look at all of our numbers, they'll show the numbers to advertisers, but guess what? They got to sign NDAs. So they can't actually, like, I'm sure they have packages of reports that say exactly how many people are watching, how much engagement they have. They show it to people who are going to spend money with them, but then you can't talk about it. So when people react to like anything on Bass or MLF and they go, oh, it's because side A or B is losing or not doing as well. Nobody knows that except for the people who have access to that data, which is probably a very small amount of people. So like I get a little irritated when people go, oh, this is a sign that MLF is like losing to Bass and they want to just copy them and, whatever. Maybe nobody knows. Like none of us have access to any of this data, right? Of like how they're doing. Like all of that is private. They're private companies. They don't have stockholders. They don't have to provide financials to anybody. They're private. They're privately held companies. So I just want to get that out there. It's like, stop assuming you know what's going on in the books of any of these companies. Nobody does. So that being said, I think like they read the tea leaves of what their community wants. So you said Bass or MLF put out a thing on their website. All of the MLF anglers, like the big names, put out their own polls, right? So I think if say you're a pizza shop and you make pizza and you poll all of your customers, you say, do you like our pizza? Would you rather us do this? And if they all say this, you'd be kind of dumb not to go do the other thing, right?
Yeah.
So if they have a whole bunch of data that says their audience wants them to switch formats, why wouldn't they
the scoring system?
Okay, that's interesting.
I feel like it rubs me the wrong way because I don't really like the way they do their edits and their cuts.
Interesting.
And like they spend less time. Like it's more about just like hook set, fish catch, weigh, hook set, fish. Like there's not. Bass definitely lets it like breathe more, right? Like there's definitely more, and what some people may not like, right? Like some people want, from my understanding, they intentionally went to this like action, fish catch, cut, like, right? Because they wanted to appeal to a new audience, right? They wanted to be more mainstream. They wanted to get to the soccer moms and which maybe was fool's gold. Maybe that was fool's gold, right? But that was
no soccer mom is ever watching bass.
But you know what I'm saying, right? They were trying to reach the new, younger, right, new market. I mean, there's a lot of people that watch NFL that don't play football, right? But there's not a lot of people that watch fishing that don't fish. So they're like, can we reach an audience that will watch this just from an entertainment competition standpoint that maybe aren't necessarily into fishing? And now it seems like in just 4 years, they have like completely backpedaled on that. And I don't know that just 5 fish is going to save it. I think the people that don't like it's like, I think other things like the 6-day tournament takes forever. It's way too long to follow.
It's really long.
The way they do their cuts and edits and their commentary. And I think that is more to do with it than other things. So I don't think this is going to be like a silver bullet for them.
So you're assuming they need a silver bullet, right?
Maybe they don't.
Yeah, they might not. Like they might just be literally, hey, let's keep playing with the format, experiment, and see what the results are. I mean, a lot of companies, whether it's, it doesn't necessarily mean this is specific to MLF, but a lot of companies are now like the way business is approached nowadays is different. Like everyone's like, let's move fast, react to data, react to conditions, and adjust as we go. Instead of we're going to build this thing, and if people don't buy it, we're just going to keep building the same thing, right? So I will say to MLF's credit that they're asking the community and they're making changes based on, I'm guessing, the reaction of the community and the data they've collected on that. So to MLF's plus, I would say they're taking a swing, right? And they must have data to back this up. I'm guessing this wasn't just a decision that they made like willy-nilly. Like no business decisions are these days. Everything's data.
I also think potentially they did attract, and part of the reason I invited you on tonight, because there have been times where you have been on Instagram or Facebook or social media,
right,
and applauded them for some of their coverage, some of their lives, some of the action for their scoring system, for the drama it created.
I'm a fan of it, yeah.
Like in more times than not, I've seen you say, I liked what I saw in BPT today, and other times you'd be like, Bass was so boring today.
Oh, Bass can be super boring, and Bass knows they're boring because they cut away from stuff, and then they like everyone pats Bass on the back for their coverage. When if you really kind of look at some of the sections of it, it's a lot of like replays, like rewinds. Like there's a lot of times they're not showing what's actually happening because there's not much happening. I think like Bass's format is, I don't know. I'm not a huge fan of it unless there's actually like stuff going on. But like, yeah, I criticize Bass a little bit. I think their format and their coverage can be a little stale. Kind of gets boring after a while. And I think, to me, the biggest and this is actually a negative of how they've changed the format on MLF, is one of the biggest cool things about MLF is when you watch when they get to the end of like knockout rounds, where people are literally going to get cut, and you got like those guys that are in that like those 4 anglers that are kind of wedged up in that cut line. One or two catches in the last 5 minutes will literally bump them up and knock someone else out, and their fishing is over. Bass doesn't have that. I think that is one of the coolest things about MLF. And then
the only time they would have it is at like their Lake Fork tournament where you can see
right. I think live scoring is awesome. I'm a big fan of it. And I think that, but they're changing to the 5 fish format where it's weights now. So catching 1 or 2 fish in the last 3 minutes won't matter.
Unless they're big ones, it's not going to matter.
Exactly.
If they already have 15 pounds and they have 5 3-pounders, and a guy catches 3 2-pounders in the last 2 minutes, it's literally going to be, well, that doesn't help, throw it back.
So,
that doesn't.
So as an MLF fan, I'm a little miffed that's. You got to think of like arrows, like in a quiver, right? So they're taking an arrow out that was, you get this drama in the last 10 minutes of an event where any fish they catch could knock someone out of the tournament. So they're taking that out of their quiver, but they're putting in an arrow of most people who said they don't like MLF is because it's not a 5-fish format. So they're kind of like robbing Peter to pay Paul a little bit, where they're taking away some of the cool stuff that they built up that is actually really enticing and fun to watch. They're getting rid of that. And now they're saying, hey, this number one complaint you had about us is no longer a complaint. So it's like, that's a risk that they're taking, right?
Yeah, that's what I feel like. I think they could have. I have some ideas, and I think how they could have. So I think what they wanted to do is listening to the Jordan Lee interview on earlier this week or last week with Matt Pangrack on BTL. It was really they wanted to make their format more relatable to the core audience, which is the 5-fish, right?
Right.
And I know there was like heartburn from the Louisiana tournament. It was every fish counts, and right, the winner, somebody would have 9 fish for 50 pounds, and their best 5 were actually 28 or 32, which is right, in a 5-fish tournament, somebody has 20, 32 pounds. That's headlines, right? That's a big deal. That's impressive. But when it was 9 fish for 43, even though that 5 for 28 was tucked in there, it was kind of right. So there was some of that. I think they could have paid homage to the 5-fish and highlighted it without giving up. So I think they could have got. I mean, the whole thing about them is they're supposed to be creative, right? So to me, what I would have done is created a 5-fish daily bonus or big 5 daily bonus, right?
Right.
You know what I mean? You have a side thing or a different tracker so you could see, right? And so even maybe you're out of it, right? Wheeler's caught 37 2.5 pounders. He's got 70 pounds. Second place is 30 pounds, right? And then you got this guy down. Maybe he's caught 4 fish for 18 pounds. And if he gets one more 4-pounder, he's going to win the big bass bonus or, the big bag or big 5 limit of the day, right? And that's $1,000 or that's they have an opportunity to create a sponsor segment. They can have the Arsenal Fishing, big 5 bonus of the day, right? Or whatever. And then they could have a cumulative, how they the thing they do with the heavy hitters is brilliant, right? Where they take your big fish. Yeah. They could have a different tracker for the big 5, right? And they could have that side thing so you could see it gives more angles, right? Like you said, you like the cut thing, right? Well, now you can watch the cut thing. You can watch the top of the leaderboard. You can watch the big 5 bonus thing, which is a different, right? It gives you more angles to cut to create drama. And then they could do a year-long thing where it's the big 5 bonus. Maybe it gets you into the knockout round if you win the big 5, or it gets you into heavy hitters because you were the best big 5 fisherman of the year, or gets you into Red Crest, or right. They could have totally made it relatable and tracked the 5 and still stayed true to their every fish counts.
What you're saying now sounds so obvious. You should be working for MLF because that makes sense. Keep the format you have, track the 5 biggest fish, and then you can do all sorts of cool shit with the 5 biggest fish, like the 10 things you just described. Can I throw another curveball at you? I was thinking about this on the drive home from pool 2. Why 5? MLF,
that was the other thing.
They had the biggest bag. They could go 6, 10, 20.
Exactly.
You know what I mean?
I think they could have totally went wide 5. They could have went 8. They could have went 10. They could have just like they had the minimum moving target, right? They could be they could have tailored it much like they tailor the minimum weight, right? When it's a tough, when it's Smith Lake, they go to 1.8 or 1.12. When it's Lake Fork, they do 3 pounds, right? They could be well, Louisiana in March is going to be stingy. Let's do a 5 or a 7 fish limit, and then when they go to Champlain in June, well, let's do a 20 fish. Right? Then they could be we test our anglers at all the levels of all the different ways, right? They could market that our anglers have to learn to fish all of the formats and they have to excel in all kinds of scenarios, right?
When you are not putting the fish physically in a live well, the number of fish you're tracking and their weights doesn't matter. At all. Did I break up there for a second?
Nope.
Oh, okay. But yeah, no, you're right. Why 5 shouldn't be a limitation? Like you shouldn't be married to 5. Like you're saying, you could change the number to anything.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think they missed the boat on what they could have done.
Boy Duck is about
Ryan's on liking the stream to get back under 100, I think.
No, I'm fine. I got too many jerk baits. I'm fine giving one away. That's good. The question is going to be, I'm going to go down and look, and which one do I come back with is going to be an interesting revelation.
Because the other thing is, like, now that I feel like if this doesn't appeal to their core or what they think their core audience, or now, then where do they go? Are they going to, like, 2 years from now, they're going to go back to then it's going to be like, oh my gosh, like, this is just like embarrassing. You know what I mean? Like, I feel like they've really put themselves in a box if it doesn't work the way they want it to.
Right. No, that's true. Because, like, the one criticism they had was they're not a 5-fish format. Now they are. What do you pivot to if this doesn't work, I guess? But the thing is, we keep making assumptions things aren't working at MLF, right? Like, we don't know.
Well,
we
do know that they did require their anglers to pay entry fees because it wasn't as profitable as they wanted. That is pretty clear. So, right. I mean, not saying that they're in trouble, but they definitely aren't making as much money as they hope to be making 2 years into it, when the third year they started paying entry fees. So that, pretty undeniable.
So, yeah, that's you make good points. Really good points.
I'm not saying that they're going to be tackle trap next year, but
let's not. We can't use tackle trap as an example of a failure.
Is that like the verb? Oh, they went tackle trap on it.
That's too mean. It's too fresh. We'll wait a little while for that one. We love tackle trap. Go buy stuff on their website right now. Help them out. But no, you make really good points. I think it's interesting. It's like when I said like rob Peter to pay Paul, it's like where they're taking away something they built that's really cool, but they're replacing it with something that everybody obviously wants. So yeah, it's going to be interesting.
Now, who, like,
I got a question.
Everybody doesn't want. I feel like they are going to lose some of the people. There are people that definitely preferred the BPT, and there was a different group of people they were reaching. Now, are those people going to be, when alienated, and are they going to lose the traction they gained there?
It's entirely possible. I have a question for you. So here's my question to the crowd, you as well. People who didn't watch BPT because they weren't super into the every fish counts format, are you going to start watching more now that they've changed the format and it's like, oh, let's see how this works out? Like, are you going to actually watch some more of their tournament coverage next year? That's an interesting question. Like, if you didn't already watch much of it, are you planning to watch more, at least the first 2 tournaments?
I would say only if they markedly change the commentary, their editing, their cut style, and that.
Okay, kind of what don't you like about the commentary?
I don't know. I don't vibe with it. I don't know. Like, it doesn't. Like, usually if I have Bass live on, the sound's on. If I have BPT on, it's almost always muted.
Is it? Well, they have 3 hosts. The Marty Stone, JT Kinney, and then what's the football announcer guy with the really good voice? I forgot his name.
Suit guy.
He's great. I love him. He's good. You got to have a guy who can just deliver the ads and be the really good radio.
A lot of people don't like him. A lot of people don't like Stone.
The Bass has that guy too. What's his name? The guy who does all the intros and outros on Bass. He's not like a bass fisherman, but he's the voice. Like the guy.
Tommy Sanders.
Everybody
loves Tommy Sanders.
He's okay, I guess. But my point is, if they made like a change in the panel, would that make you happy? Like, which person don't you like? Which one?
I don't know if it's as much as the commentaries. It's just like I don't feel like there's a lot of like analysis. We don't really like sit down. The pros don't like talk about like I like it when Paul Mueller talks about his deep cranking setup and he walks you through what he's doing. And when Paul Nick talks about his Nico rig, or when Zaldane talks about swim baits or whatever, like I feel like
wait, on the water or after the fact when
like
they come
during the tournament while they're fishing.
Okay. That makes sense. Okay. Yeah, I agree. They could probably let anglers sit and talk about their stuff a little more because they do kind of smash cut into fish catches a lot on BPT for sure.
I think BPT would be wise to stop trying to take bass on head on scheduling conflicts. I don't think they're winning those very often.
The whole scheduling stuff is stupid. Like you got open water all year round, and when they do book on top of each other, it doesn't make any sense. I agree. As long as it stays a week long, I'll never watch it, and my boss is a head official.
Little Mitch says he watched more MPFL than he did BPT.
I didn't watch a single minute of MPFL.
I watched more the first year. I didn't really watch any this year.
I'm with you. I watched the first year to kind of experiment, but I didn't watch a single second of it.
I watched because I think the first year, weren't they on YouTube? I don't know if they were on YouTube this year.
They were, I think.
Okay.
That's a good question. I know they had I always went to their website, the MPFL website. So can we call out, there's one thing that cracks me up about the NPFL is their ridiculously giant trophy.
Well, people like that.
The giant shield trophy that's like this big. So I actually made a joke about their trophy and how big it was, and they banned me off their I am banned on the NPFL Instagram account because I made a crack about their trophy. And so I can't post on any NPFL stuff, FYI.
I think the people that think that Wheeler's still not going to win most of the tournaments are going to be sadly disappointed.
I think Wheeler's going to kick the shit out of everybody no matter what. He's just really good. DC dominating. Okay, Rich, I got a quick question for you. Did you watch DC and his Mille Lacs footage at all?
I haven't, no.
He was doing something on Mille Lacs that I thought was really great. He was drop shotting a TRD. Have you looked into this at all? Like drop shotting a Ned.
Whoa. He wasn't drop shotting the Guggen rattling Ned?
No, he wasn't.
Ooh.
I'm subscribed to some like bass newsletters, and people took pictures of his rigs on his boat, and it was not the rattling Ned. It was just a regular old Z-Man TRD. But my point is the drop shotting of the Ned bait is a favorite of Dustin Connell, and I've been doing it, and my buddy Josh has been doing it. We've been catching fish. Like smallmouth absolutely 100% eat a drop shotted TRD. Mm-hmm. It works 100%. But you have to I wish I had a hook and a bait, but you got to run the hook through the Ned. So you don't hook it on the head. You run the hook down the middle of it.
You thread it on.
Get that hook down through the middle of the Ned, and then you just literally just do nothing. You throw it out there and you let it sit, and smallmouth eat it. It works. 100%. Yeah, the length of FL BPT tournaments is definitely too long.
Way too long. Gravy says, if it starts to look more like bass, he's out. So and the people that already like bass aren't intrigued. So I feel like this isn't going to go well, but I could be wrong. So here, why I disagree with their decision, I do not want to see MLF fail. I do not want to see BPT.
No, I don't either.
It will be great. Bad for tournament fishing and bad for the sport if they fail.
I agree. I will still to this day profess that the end goal of BPT and MLF is to buy bass. At some point I've predicted this from day one, is that the Kroenke empire, like the businesses that own MLF, are billionaires, and they will at some point purchase bass, and they will all smush into one company. That is my prediction. I don't know when it's going to happen, but at some point they will try to devalue bass enough to make them a acquirable company. And I think at some point MLF will own bass. That's my prediction. I'm going on record right now. I don't know.
I agree. That's what they hope to do. I don't know that they're getting much traction in there,
but they have more money than everybody. So
true. But those people also got to have a lot of money by making good business decisions.
I'll put it this way.
If they can't prove that the product they have now can't make money, they're not going to acquire another one. They just cut a tour from FLW because it was bleeding money. So
yeah, well, that was a dumb tour anyway. I'll say this. If you look, the people who own MLF own the Colorado Rockies, the LA Rams, multiple Premier League teams. They're billionaires that own MLF. The company that owns Bass does print media
and fireworks.
Who's going to win in the money fight? The gods that own MLF or the rinky-dink print media company? They own like Whataburger, right? Oh no, wait, what is the burger chain that the company that owns Bass owns? I want to say it's like Whataburger.
I think it is Whataburger.
Yeah, right. But my point is, you're talking billionaires versus millionaires. I'm always going to say the billionaires will probably win in the end. Just obvious business 101 right there.
This is probably the most astute question of the night right here.
What's that?
Whatever happened to
Natty? I like Natty. She was great. Why didn't they? Yeah, they used her on the first year, and then either she left or they let her go. I don't know the story. I don't know anything about that. But yeah, Natty was awesome. Why aren't there more girls or women involved with any bass media? It's ridiculous.
There you go. Natty's the new Laura Scher on Due North Outdoors, I guess.
I don't know. I think it's a big miss with inclusion on both Bass and MLF. They could maybe diversify themselves a little bit, have some women. Why not? Like, women fish too. It is ridiculous. Like, yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. I guess I don't know if there's much more to say, but I think they're missing the mark personally, and we'll see. I think they could have done a lot of things. They should have called me. They should have called HellaBass.
They should. Bass should be using. Well, they name drop you once in a while on their streams.
Ronnie does, yeah.
You and Ronnie are like foils, best friends. I can't
Frenemies.
Frenemies.
Yeah.
So how did your beat HellaBass? Let's change lanes a little bit. How did your beat HellaBass fantasy thing go with Bass this year?
Oh, I was the top pundit.
Really?
Yeah.
In
the traditional game, I was a top pundit, and then Ronnie beat me by like 40 points and drained the lake.
So did you get anything by being the top pundit?
No, just to get to talk trash in the email group.
They should have had a prize for top pundit. That's awesome though. So you beat you out fantasied all of the Bass broadcast talent.
I don't know. I can't see all them. Like, I can't see like. So the pundits are Coy Greathouse, Emily Hand, Pete Robbins, Jesse. What's Jesse's last name? Kyle Jesse. Those are the official pundits that write the articles, and then
Okay.
Ronnie was in that group.
Got it. I would like to see how you went against like Zona and some of those other folks.
They probably didn't even get their lineups in.
No, they don't care. I doubt Zona or any of those guys are actually filling out fantasy rosters.
Well, supposedly, Tommy Sanders was leading the country for a while.
Really? That's awesome.
I don't know if he held on towards the end or not, but he was strong early on.
I get super excited to do Bass Fantasy for about the first 4 tournaments, and then by about the 5th tournament, I forget about it, and then after that, I every single year, I'm super into it the first like 3-4 tournaments because it's winter here and there's not much else to do, so I like actually take a crack at it, and then once summer rolls around, I can go out and fish. I just totally forget about it.
You know, if you subscribed to a channel that had YouTube videos about fantasy fishing and turn your notifications on, you wouldn't forget.
Shameless plug. I do watch some of your fantasy. I watch some of them early in the season, and when I forget about it, then my fantasy is blown up and it doesn't matter anymore, so I don't watch them. But it is cool that you've carved out the niche of being the fantasy pundit guy. I think that's pretty awesome. Here's the thing. I would get way more interested if you could bet on it. Like if you could actually put real money into this, like I don't know why you can't bet on fishing yet. You know what I mean? Real money.
That was the one angle that I thought would have been cool.
Right.
For MLF because they're tied to Bally's, and even their game set was powered by Bally's bets, but it never really was integrated in a way where you could like do like a daily fantasy or a monkey fight or any of those types of games. Which would make it up. And honestly, I don't know if for the people that tried, I did the whole year of MLF. I missed a couple of the late events, but their game was so bad. Really? You couldn't do any research in it. You couldn't sort the anglers. you couldn't like once you went like you had 3 games, right? So it was like predictor game, traditional tackle warehouse pro circuit, traditional BPT. Once you went into it, there was no way to navigate back up to the 3. You literally had to go back into the URL and type Major League Fishing or fantasyfishing.com to like I could give you a top 10 list the way that their game was so hard to navigate. It was like there was no way. So I could create a private group and I couldn't send out invites. I had to create a code and then you have to enter a code to get in. But there was no way for me to contact the people in my group. So I couldn't get a hold of the winners other than if they watched the videos. It's so bad. Another reason I'm not that into, if they had a better fantasy game, I would pay attention to their fishing more.
Did you give them any feedback or did they watch any, like, did anybody from MLF contact you about your criticisms?
No.
Because you think they should, right? Like, here's someone who actually used it, made content about it, and has thoughts and opinions, and they haven't.
I literally made a video on like, why is MLF fantasy fishing so bad?
I did see that. So, but my question is, you've heard nothing from MLF on any of that? That's them being lazy, to be honest. Like they should be listening to you. You know what you're talking about, and you have legitimate feedback and criticism.
They literally did nothing. There was no CI, no improvement through the whole year. I mean, like simple things. We just want a link. Like just put. That's easy. Like any intern could go in there and edit the link. I'm guessing that once the game got built, I don't know, they decided not to put any more money into it. They didn't want to pay the company that set it up and to add some links. Like we probably, I don't know.
It was probably forgotten about, which sucks. But yeah, I mean, don't do any more content about it. It's their loss, right? Like if YouTube content creators aren't gonna support or even care about your platform, then you got a problem, right? You know what I mean? Like you can't.
I kind of still want to do it in case they get into the actual, like the Bally bet actually integrates, because then I think the degenerates will pour in, and I want to be the person there to feed them video content.
I'm not gonna hold my breath on gambling integrations going on anytime soon, which is what they should do. Because here's the thing, Rich. Guys are running around with $100,000 plus rigs with $100,000 trucks with $5,000 of tackle and everything. A lot of these guys could probably afford to bet $20-$30 here and there on fishing. Like, I'm just saying, like,
that are paying $200, $500 entry fees on weekends to tournaments. Like,
there's clearly money in
anybody that fishes tournament fishing is already a degenerate gambler, whether they want to admit it or not.
That is the most truthful thing we've said in the last hour. But my point is, this is a huge missed opportunity to have online gambling for these tournaments, 100%. And HellaBass should be the number one source for gambling and betting information on fantasy fishing. Like I was telling you from the start, it's like if they ever let you make legitimate bets on fantasy fishing, you've already built the platform to be the pundit for that. Like it's right there in front of everybody.
That's the long play.
But these betting sites need to understand that there's an audience for this and people who have money that want to spend money on this stuff. 100%. I'm curious what people think. Is the audience that's watching this now? We got almost 150 people. Are they?
We actually had more than that for a while.
Here's my question. We should put this in a poll. Are you more positive on BPT now that they made the change, or do you not care?
So I did put in a poll and I said, should have BPT have changed the size fish? 58% said yes, 42% no. So
so that means that people are happy they made the change. At least more than half.
Slightly. Yeah,
I mean that's enough to say that they maybe.
I didn't vote. I would have voted no.
Interesting. You know, my thing is like, I just think any business, if you poll your customers and they say you should be doing this thing that you're not doing, you're a dumb business if you don't say, okay, we'll do that. Like you have to listen to your customers, right?
Or they could have done what I said they should have done.
Why am I talking? Go get the 110. Fine. So the Bento Box this month has a exclusive.
All right, so you didn't finish your Bento Box. Why don't you finish? You only showed us one bait out of the Bento Box.
All right. Actually, here, I'm going to throw the baits out at you, and I want to hear your opinion on these baits. There's actually one bait in here that I really want to hear your opinion on. Okay. All right. So this is the Hookup Tackle monthly subscription box. It's exclusive. They only have a certain amount of boxes.
$100 a box, right?
It's $100 for the Hookup Tackle's monthly subscription box, and it's invite only. You can't just go buy this right now.
You could originally, right?
They had a original window where you could sign up for it. And since then, if someone drops out, they'll bring people in who are on like the wait list, but that's it. So it's exclusive. All right.
I've never bought a bento box. Full disclosure.
Do you want me to go with I'm going to go with plastics first. Okay.
So we saw the Macbeth crankbait.
Oh yeah. We already saw the Macbeth. There's 3 packages of plastics in this box. I'm going to go with a Megabass one first. This was in the bento box this month. The Tournament Crawler. So this is a finesse worm. It's 4.5 inches, but it's really thin. It's tiny, teeny tiny little worm. What do you think? Look at how it's super soft. You can see just on my finger.
Overpriced Zoom drop shot worm.
Fair enough. It's a lot thinner than the Zoom finesse worm, though. Like the Zoom finesse worm is pretty chunky. This
not a big drop shot guy. Not getting excited about drop shot worm in $100 box.
Fair enough. Fair enough. I love it. You trash this box. Go ahead.
Like JDM plastics, I definitely don't get excited about because I'm more likely to invest in JDM or high end hard baits. I do not like to invest in high end soft baits because you burn through them, you rip through them.
Very fair point. Okay, this is a brand called Noiki, I believe. They are Japanese. This has the.
I feel like Berkeley discontinued a bait that shape 5 years ago.
Okay.
The
Do you want to know the name of this bait is?
The saber bug was discontinued more than 5 years ago.
So the name of this bait is, I'm not even making this up. Can you read that?
The Donkey Boo?
The Donkey Boo. It's called the Donkey Boo. It's a very, very small crayfish bait.
It's a Ned rig.
Or drop shot. You could drop shot this. It's real small. Or a finesse jig. But yeah.
So it's basically a baby brush hog missing some of its appendages.
It's extremely brush hoggy with the flappy, with the little tentacles coming down the middle.
This is where I make a Randy Blockett video. I'm like, how to make a baby brush hog into a $20 JDM plastics. Here, rip this off, double the price. Here's your JDM brush hog.
So these are 3-inch. Is there a 3-inch baby brush hog?
If you rip off the bottom tentacles, sure.
Well, they made a 3-inch that you don't have.
You just I probably got some baby. Let's make one here, right? All right.
This is why I love Rich. So
Rich, we have what's a baby brush hog? Let's measure it here. So a full baby brush hog.
Okay, wait. You got to make it into the donkey do.
Yeah, is I guess 4 1/4 inches. And you said this is what? 3 inches?
But look at the donkey do.
There you go. I ripped the tails off.
The donkey do has smaller little.
Yeah, look right there. They're right there. See them?
All right.
So there.
All right,
okay. Let me get my Arsenal battle braid.
Okay.
All right. We'll trim these back a little bit so you get a little bit more flair on your. There you go.
How many baits are in this package?
There you go. There it is.
All right. You got your version of the donkey do.
There it is.
All right. Fair enough.
And you get 12 of these for $3.99.
Let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 6.
There is a tiny brush hog that is already 3 inches as well, but it would be a little thinner.
I think there's 7 baits in this. I don't know what the MSRP is.
Probably like $9.99.
Can I read you the copy that's on the package of this bait? It's really great. Okay. So it says, this is the donkey do. It says, experience amazingly marvelous materials by yourself, period. That is the Craftsman quality. Read the copy.
Craftsman of injected molded plastics. It's not like they're hand poured.
That is the Craftsman quality, period. I love translations on this stuff.
It's not like they're handmade. They're injected molded.
It says right on the package, the soul of craftsmanship on this bait. All right. Maybe I'll find one plastic you like. Okay, ready? This one's actually pretty cool. The OSP Dual Live Shrimp in the 6-inch.
Take it
out. This is a big bait. I already know what I'm gonna throw it on. I'm curious what you say. So this is a big old So the flappy appendages go down and then also reverse. But then you have, look at this. You got tentacles on the front, little flappy arms on the back.
It reminds me of a gambler bacon ride on steroids.
What do you think of that one? So this is like
you are going to throw this on a free rig.
No, it's way too big. This is going to be a Carolina rig bait, 100%. This is kind of like in the 10-inch worm category.
Yeah, I would throw a missile baits. What is it called? Destroyer instead.
This is good pull. This is very destroyer like. That's a really. I forgot about the destroyer.
I don't have any, but I'll pull some up.
This is very destroyer like. Good, Rich. Good pull.
Does Omnia not carry the missile baits destroyer?
I don't think they do. You might have to go to Tackle Warehouse. Guess how many?
Jacob Rose.
Guess how many of these you get in a package from OSP? Just take a guess. Yep, 5. You're right.
It's always an odd number, and it's always less than you would hope for more than you'd want to pay.
So yeah, these are probably $10 a package, like every OSP.
Oh no, they do. Wait, they have it's right here.
Yeah, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. No, wait, yeah, 5.
So save yourself some money, people. Go to omniafishing.com. Use the code down below. Hold it up.
Okay, wait. Yeah, it's pretty well. Yeah, I wouldn't say it's exactly, but it's close.
But on a Carolina rig, it'll do the same thing.
Yeah, this doesn't have curly appendages.
$5.69. You only get 6 per pack. So these are about $1 a piece. And how much are those? Those are probably $2 a piece.
These are $10 for a pack for OSP usually.
So you get 5 for 10. Here you get 6 for 6. So they're half the cost.
Yeah, but do you want?
And you can get them at Omnia in 2 days, and you don't have to worry about the hookup tackle being out of them.
But here's the thing: do you want curly or do you want straight?
I can take these and make them straight.
Oh, this is great! I love you, Rich. This is funny. All right, so
or the Reaction Innovations Man Bear Pig would also be a good one.
Man Bear Pig is pretty similar, I guess, as well. Anyway, I got me some.
We might have to do literally a live reaction to the Bento Box every month. People are loving this.
I'm into it. Let's do it.
Nick says it looks like a Guggen trench hog.
All right, so we got the baby brush hog wannabes. We got the just use a zoom finesse worm.
Yep, swamp crawler.
Right, and then we got the just get a stupid destroyer.
Mm-hmm.
All right. I'm not disagreeing with you on any of this. All right.
So far we've spent with my code less than $20 at Omnia and probably got way more baits.
Here's the bait that's gonna break your brain. I've never heard of this until I got the box. Read this.
The RC flatback jig
from Depths.
Is it tungsten?
I don't know. It's ½ ounce. So it's a rodeo. It's like a Depths plus rodeo craft. So it's like 2 brands.
Heavy cover and weed through swimming. So it's a swim jig?
You tell me. So it's got a ridiculously giant trailer. I'm sorry, skirt. So this is the head. Can you see that?
Mm-hmm. Kind of a modified Arky swim jig. Yep.
But look at the skirt on this thing. It's got 2 stages to the skirt.
Yeah, like they made spinner baits like that.
Right. So it's got a pretty significantly small-ish hook. Like the hook on this thing, look at it's got a real long bend to it, but it doesn't stick out very far. And then also this brush guard is really stiff. Like this is I'm pushing out on this pretty hard.
Mop jigs do similar haircuts on their skirts.
Mop jig. Oh, that's a good comparison. This is definitely mop jiggish. It's got a horizontal line tie.
$9.99
for this thing. $10
according to Lightning Muskie or Daniel.
So here's a question to you: would you put a trailer on this thing or just throw it like this with the skirt sticking out the bottom?
Neither.
You have to throw it one way. Are you putting a trailer on it?
If I have to throw it, I don't think I would put a trailer on it.
Right. I don't think it needs a trailer, right?
What I would do, instead of paying $10 for that, I would just go to our friends at Super K and send them a picture and have them make one for $5 or $6.
Right.
Because they would custom tie it for you that way in a color that would be better than that.
I don't know. This color is very strange. It's like a pink. It's very shabby. It's like a pink and with a lot of speckle. I don't know. I got this in the package and I'm like, what the hell is this thing? It's supposed to be for heavy cover. I mean, to me, the heavy cover is this brush guard.
Really... Cut the skirt off, put a trailer on it. Then you don't need a JDM jig to begin with.
All right, so I'm guessing people on this feed are not going to run out and buy the. What does RC stand for? What is it? You know what I mean?
I guess it's not the Rick Clunn flatback jig.
It must. Oh, dude, I'm an idiot. Rodeo Craft is the other company.
Oh, it's a collaboration.
Collab.
Oh boy.
So RC Rodeo Craft flatback jig.
Yeah, I think War Eagle actually might have a skirt like that.
My question is, does this really seem like a swim jig? It does not seem like a swim jig.
It could be.
I guess. All right.
So far, I'd be pissed that I spent $100 on this.
So they threw in a special color. This is an LV 200. So this is the sinking like the heavier weighted Lucky Craft LV. So this was also in the box. It's a LV 200 sinking edition. So it's kind of a little heavier. Are you a big lipless guy?
A lot of people, I'm okay with them. A lot of people do like the LVs for fishing them deep and like stroking them out the bottom. It's good bait. I don't think Lucky Craft USA is as good as it used to be, but
okay.
The thing is, like, I don't feel like Lucky Craft USA is really JDM worthy at this point.
So here, this is funny. Since you're
before you get into that,
go ahead.
War Eagle has been doing this with their spinnerbait skirts for a long time.
Yes, I've seen that on spinnerbaits. I've never seen it on a swim jig.
So we can cut the arm off a War Eagle spinnerbait and tie it on like a jig.
So the special edition 110 and the Pop Max in the Bento Box this month is called, this is a French word, Ichelat.
Radio Craft is a JDM trout brand.
So what do you think? This is the 110. It's got just a really faint blue.
110s are awesome. I don't get too caught up in these super niche colors. Like, I'm pretty simple when it comes to colors.
I agree. So this is a French word. It's the French word for shallot. So you know, like the onion. You're Uncle Roger fan, so you know that shallots are the proper.
Yo.
Yeah, onions are for poor people. Shallots are what you should be using. So this is the 110 ish. This is called GP. I don't know if it's going to focus on.
Why do I want a jig
here
collaboration with depths from a trout company?
That's a great question. So GP.
The answer is I don't.
So the 110s are the French onion shallot colors in the Bento Box this month.
Pop Max, most overrated popper there is.
Oh, come on. I've caught a lot of fish on the Pop Max. What don't you like about it?
That it's not a Yellow Magic, and it's twice as expensive.
It's not. Is it twice? What's a Yellow Magic cost?
I don't know, $10 more expensive, 30% more expensive.
I'm saying it's not that much more expensive. I've caught a lot of fish.
What is the price of the 110? I would give you $30 for this box because that's the only bait I want in it.
It's $24.99 is the MSRP of a Vision.
So with the special color, I'll give you $30 for the box. And
done.
Give the rest of it to a high school team.
Yeah, this box is a little crazy this month, that's for sure.
The only time I ever bought Pop Maxes is when Dick's Sporting Goods had their buy 5 get 5 for free, and I needed some baits of some equal price to the 110s I was getting, and then I sold those Pop Maxes on eBay to recover most of the money I spent.
That's because you're a good businessman. That's why.
I think Pop Max is good. The Ritsu makes the Yellow Magic. That is one of the few places. That is one of the few baits that I will order on Tackle Warehouse that I can't get at Omnia is a Yellow Magic.
Fair point. No, Yellow Magic's legit. All right, so I have to go run down to the basement and figure out. Do you want to do your giveaway first?
Sure. Zach, they are very comparable. The Rico and the
same damn
Yellow
thing as the
Magic
Rico.
is a little bit cheaper.
They're basically the same bait. Like they're the same shape. There's a lot of drama of who came up with it first.
There you go.
Who?
Matthew Acevedo is a big JDM guy, and he even says the Pop Max is the prettiest worst popper.
I have legitimately caught a lot of bass on a Pop Max. So like,
all pop. I mean, like people caught a lot of fish on a Pop R too.
That's true. It's very true.
I mean, it's hard to make a bad popper.
You make a very good point.
There's just nothing special about the Pop Max, in my opinion, other than the price and the paint scheme. And all I need is a bone-colored belly.
You only use one color popper, anyways. It doesn't matter. Yeah, everything. So the only other bait that we didn't talk about was in the box was the Shimano crank.
Okay, I'll take that. I would try to make that. I actually like that square bill. So, what is that? A $15 square bill? So we'll bump it up to.
I have literally no idea how much any of this stuff costs. All right, you should run your giveaway, and I'm going to run downstairs and decide on which 110 we're going to give away. How's that sound?
He's drinking the JDM Kool-Aid, Will. The Bento Box Kool-Aid.
We're doing some bourbon tonight, some Michter's.
Right.
I'm drinking the JDM. I honestly, I've often thought, why am I buying this box every month? But I do it because it gives me an opportunity to make a video every month about unboxing the box.
But you definitely don't make $100 on that video per month.
No, I don't. But it's fun. I just enjoy it. It's just something to do.
We may need to do just a
short. You do your giveaway real quick. Do your thing. I'm gonna run downstairs and grab something out of that. I'll be right back.
Big. So you are gonna get an Arsenal Flex Fit hat, new. You are gonna get an Arsenal Green Pumpkin 1 1/4 ounce Green Pumpkin punch rig. Some what are these sprayed grass boomsticks, kind of like a dinger, Arsenal decal, and a sun buff because I want this hat and this sun buff to keep you protected from the harsh UV rays, and then we can all be safe. That is 100% true. I would 100% spend $100 at Omnia every day than that Bento Box. But you want the backlight on? What would you like the backlight? Should we do maybe a nice Arsenal green? That's not green. All right. There you go. Backlight's on. Should we do double? Ooh, that's a little too much tonight. It's too much. We could customize the hat if it is requested. I don't know if people want their flex that way. What's up, Devin? Probably not getting a lot of hours at the Marion Boat Ramp. All right, I got to get the StreamYard. He'll be back. Oh, that's not the right one. Bookmarks. Should have this ready. StreamYard giveaway tool. Jimbo says he watches the JDM Bento Box because he wants to see the baits, but he doesn't want to buy it. There you go. All right. We are going to go. They should be. Are they out of stock at Omnia and Arsenal? Yeah, well, I've been traveling a lot, Andy. I spent 9 days in Cancun, and then I was home for 12 hours, and then I went to Rochester, and I've been up since 3:30 Central this morning because I had a 6 a.m. flight on the East Coast out of Rochester, New York. So I am running on just a tiny bit of sleep, if that's all right. The giveaway I didn't want to do that. We're going to take him out for now. Present. For those that were watching the Tacklecraft stream today, you'll understand why we are doing hashtag muffins. But get your entries in. Hashtag muffins, AJ. Canadians are eligible, but I'll probably just send you an Omnia gift card rather than ship to Canada because you'll get more for your buck and it'll be a better deal for everybody. Lots of muffins coming in. Let's see, we got give us a few minutes. No banana. Banana's good. How about what are your thoughts on zucchini muffins if you don't like banana muffins? See some new faces in the chat. I assume some of these people are watching on the Punch Fishing channel. We are multi-streaming, simulcasting on 2 different YouTube channels, plus Facebook and maybe Twitch. Oh, he says he found a good one. Should we bring him back? Somebody said you weren't going to come back. They thought you were just going to bail and not hand out.
So I will say I made a pass through my kitchen just now, and my wife made a pizza, and there was like going to be pizza left for me when I want to eat. And I went back and there was like 2 little slices left, so my kids ravaged it, and I'm not
going to see Bassmaster is on Team Bento Box with you.
I have to defend the Bento Box alone. Yeah, the Bento Box is easily rippable, for sure, but there's no shortage of people who want it. Put it that way.
I'd rather spend my money on these.
Okay, can I explain what's muffins? What is going on here?
Oh, so I was we were watching an afternoon stream this earlier with Tacklecraft TK. I don't know, he was on here earlier.
Okay.
Sad that he's missing this, but AJ Mendy, who's from Horseshoe Customs, was on here, and he was baking muffins earlier this afternoon during the stream. So,
what's your favorite muffin?
I don't know. I kind of like the more I do like a pumpkin or a zucchini muffin.
Zucchini, interesting.
Like zucchini chocolate chip.
Okay, I'm on board.
I also like a good blueberry muffin, and sometimes if I got a sweet tooth, I do like chocolate chip.
My son loves a chocolate chip.
Like a chocolate chip. Like
chocolate muffin with the chocolate chips. Yeah, that's a banger. I like I'm a big banana nut muffin fan. I will definitely take a banana, but like a blueberry with the crystallized sugar on the top, where it's like the crunchy sugar on the top. That's the fucking winner right there. Like blueberry crystallized sugar with a big cup of coffee. Now we're talking.
A lot of blueberry fans here. Apple cinnamon?
I don't think I've had it. I'm trying to think if I've had an apple cinnamon muffin.
Matthew's hoping it's a frozen tequila 110.
No. Those are I'm not letting go of frozen tequila on a YouTube live stream, my friend.
Wow. I thought we were tight.
No, I got a really good one, but the frozen tequilas are extremely hard to get, and they are, that's like a $200 jerkbait.
Dave says the Publix blueberry muffins are quite excellent.
We don't have any Publix up here.
No Publix up here.
We're missing out. Blueberry muffins are legit. Yeah, I'm with you on the chocolate chip.
All right, let's get a close-up of this special.
Okay. So I went down into the archive, and I'm like looking through stuff. I'm like, what do I like? And I bought multiple of these because when these came out, I was like, I knew these were going to be really good jerkbaits. So I actually bought a couple of these. So this is one of out of my personal stash. Rich, you actually might like this one. This is paining me to give this away because
what are they called?
It's a Vision 110 in its Respect color that has came out in the last year.
I can never remember the Respect.
This color is called Sunset Teaser. Now, I have actually used this color and caught smallmouth You're gonna love this. Look at this bad boy. It's like a icy came to life.
I feel like it's a clown kind of.
So you got pink chartreuse, and then blue on the head. You got an orange belly, but there's a ton of flake, like kind of like a foil in the middle, and it's super translucent. I have caught smallmouth on this in the spring really well. Like I had a day where I threw the sunset teaser and I cracked them on this thing. So if you live in smallmouth waters or clear water, this thing is juicy. The sunset teaser. This is one of the best colors that Megabass has put out in years. And they put it out in a respect color that they only dropped it once and then it's gone. Look at that on the back. Isn't that cool? It looks like summer. This is summer.
It kind of looks like one of the cocktails I had in Cancun.
Right. This is summer brewed into a jerkbait. Like this is everything that's great about summer on the beach.
Yeah, it doesn't do anything for me.
it catches them, man. I've cracked them on this thing.
I'm sure it does. I just don't like bright jerkbaits. I'm not a big. I don't throw like pink. I like a little chartreuse in my small age jerkbaits, but somebody's going to be super excited to win this.
You're not stoked on the sunset teaser, but this is a legit fishing catching color.
But what I am stoked about is Jimbo Slice becoming a member of Team Hella tonight.
Nice job. Good job.
So cheers to you, Jimbo.
Cheers.
And Jumbo, we are going to give you one of the. Just wait for it. One of us. One of us. One of us. Welcome to Team Hella, Jimbo.
That's awesome. So you're not happy with the sunset, but is the crowd happy? Do you guys want to win the sunset teaser 110 in the respect color?
In the chat if you are happy with this selection.
I wanted to pick one that it's going to hurt me to give away.
Greg says it's a cool color he doesn't have.
It's legit.
Nate says he's neutral.
I'm neutral. He's got a giant smallmouth in his picture. He should want this bait. This is a smallmouth catcher.
I got actually some new shoes finally late in the year. They're not going to be red. Smalley Smasher color for sure.
I'm saddened by the.
Jim says if he wins, it'll be his first ever 110.
Well, there we go. It's a good one to start with. It's free. Who cares?
Hudson says, "Send me the electric chicken."
What's the electric chicken?
I don't know.
What is that? I don't even know what that means.
It's like a June bug chartreuse soft plastic, like a June bug body with a chartreuse tail. I don't know. Maybe there's a hard.
I've never heard of the electric chicken in the context of fishing.
Steve says he's down.
See, he's caught him on a sunset teaser. All right.
On a 110, not that 110.
Details.
What about you're offending people and limiting people that live in, but you got spots. Spots will eat it.
Largemouth love loud colors. I've caught, you can catch any bait on anything that's flashy and loud. Like it's not.
Adam says sunset teaser is the juice.
I mean, look at the top of that. That is
so. Nope, the red shoes are going to be gone. No more Boyd shoes. Aaron says, "How about a perch instead?"
You can get that anywhere. You're coming to me, you're getting something weird.
Andy says St. Clair's they'll get chomped.
Well, I hope some of you. It does look like an electric chicken. Yeah, we got to pull more comments out of here.
We should have some live. I want you to count all your 110s.
I don't have. My collection is not that obscene. I want to say I have.
No, but this would be fun.
Okay.
Next, we're gonna go live on Black Friday again. We're gonna do a big giveaway again, like we did last time, or somewhere around Black Friday, Thanksgiving. Yeah, we'll do a big giveaway like we did last time. We'll do I think we're gonna do $100 box exchange instead of a $50.
Yes.
But we should do a giveaway based on you count all your 110s before you come on, and then we'll have a separate giveaway based on people who can get close. We'll have a chat where people have to guess how many 110s.
So it's like Price is Right, where people try and get close.
No, we'll just let the chat go, and when we'll both watch it whatever that number is, when whoever gets it right, there'll be a separate giveaway for that.
I'm fine with that. It's the number is not as obscene as people think.
Okay, chartreuse and pink, not June bug and chartreuse. Electric chicken.
Electric
It's
chicken.
definitely a crappie color or a saltwater color.
Electric chicken. I like fried chicken. Is that the same thing?
Somebody's saying this is $50 to $60 on eBay.
Yes, the sunset teaser is no longer made anymore. So this bait is retailed at $25 and now is flipping for twice that. So if you wanted to make money off this, you absolutely could flip this on eBay, but then you're bad karma. Like you shouldn't resell it. That's bad fishing karma to flip a bait you got for free on a live stream.
All right,
but if we do it,
we should probably get back to giving away the muffin giveaway here before we
do the muffins.
Hashtag muffins. 72 people are in. Last chance to get in for the Arsenal giveaway. Sunbuff sticker, boomsticks, punch rig, and a nice flex fit hat.
Dude, I want that because I want the hat and the neck buff, like for sure.
Swim School says I'm into hustle culture. He's all about the Gary V life.
Flipping everything. Flip all the things.
There's a lot of people that like their basic provokes and stunnas. They're not about that 110 life. I would say I've got somewhere between 15 and 20 110s. But I have been becoming more and more keen on the Jackal re-ranges.
Yeah, re-ranges are awesome. Can I tell you a dirty secret? I really don't like throwing jerkbaits that much.
I don't really. I almost won a tournament on a re-range this spring.
I know I need to throw it and I have it on the deck, but I don't enjoy throwing jerkbaits. It's exhausting. I'm like, I just all day long throwing a jerkbait around is like painful to me.
Matthew's going to do another swim giveaway for Christmas. A JBC Lunker Punker and Evergreen Brim Slide.
Lunker Punker. I've heard that before. Isn't that kind of expensive? You got one? Show that off. Black Dog Bait Lunker Punker.
So this one, I don't know what a JBC Lunker Punker is. This is the Lunker Punker Junior.
So they make a bigger one.
They make a bigger one.
Oh my God. That's the small one?
This is the wood one.
Is that like the feather actually came off a bird? It looks like that's pretty sick.
So the one he's giving away is a resin. This is actually the wood version.
Is that more expensive, the wood version? It's got to be.
I think so. I don't know if they make the wood one anymore.
Ooh, that's definitely more expensive. That was a cool pattern. Is that trout?
It should be my new thumbnail.
There you go. What pattern? What's the color?
It's kind of a rainbow trout type pattern.
That actually looks pretty badass. How heavy is that with the wood?
That's 3 ounces, I'd guess.
Oh, so you need a swim bait rod for that, for sure.
You definitely need a borderline flipping stick, if not a.
Yeah, but to throw it long distance, you're going to need a nice long swim bait rod. Yeah, re-range is good.
Deep diving jerkbait, the rear-range MD or MR is a good deep diving jerkbait.
Can I also say that the Berkeley Stunna sink, so you can let it sink to the depth you want to jerk it at, and then you can retrieve it. So you don't necessarily need like a deep diving with the Stunna because it slowly drops. So if you have forward facing sonar, that's a very good point. Fair enough. I got owned on that one. Hats off, Basson. That's
Jimbo said he could flip the 110 for almost a full year's membership on HellaBass.
There you go.
SJ says two
eBay
ounces.
Has fees though. You got to pay fees and shipping on eBay.
All right, I think everybody that wants to get in on muffins is getting in. We're gonna spin it
as opposed to a cow. That's great. What I meant to say was it looks like a whole bird was donated to the feather of that thing. Like it was like a lot of feathers. Was what I was trying to get at, but apparently I failed on
Victor
that.
Simonson.
Victor. Congrats, Victor.
Congrats on your Arsenal prize pack. You need to email me, rich@richlundgren.com, DM me on Instagram, or DM me on Facebook to get a hold of me so that I can get you your Arsenal prize pack.
Nice. That's awesome.
I actually have more stuff. that I have not got. So I got this giant. This is not gonna be tonight, but just a little teaser here. I've got this flat rate thing stuffed from Drastic Plastics, who is a guy I ran into at the. He's in Wisconsin, so this is a Wisconsin company. Sent me a bunch of plastics. We'll do some giveaways out of this.
Oh wait, say that name again.
Drastic Plastics.
Drastic Plastics.
Drastic Plastic out of Oxford, Wisconsin.
That's Oxford. I go to Wisconsin all the time. I've never heard of that town.
Yeah, I don't know. I think they're more like east side of the state.
Oxford, Wisconsin.
So hopefully you're still here, Victor, and you got that message, and you're.
Dude, you know it's a small town when you Google Oxford, and the wiki entry says it's a village.
So it's like Marathon. It's a village.
It's tiny, is the point. Oxford. Okay, I'm looking this up. Oh, it's by the Dells.
Oh, everything's by the Dells.
No, that's not true. It's little northeast of the Dells, Oxford, Wisconsin. It's tiny, teeny tiny little town.
Well, if I don't hear from Victor, we'll give it away next week. So get a hold of me, Victor. Say something in the chat.
By the way, go Vikings.
Yeah,
Just want to say that. I don't know what football teams everyone aligns with in here, but
I was definitely in Bills country this week.
The Bills are the best team in football these days. They're amazing. Okay, so
right, do you want to do the StreamYard giveaway for this Respect 110, or do you want to do a different form?
No, let's do it here now. You can just do. We'll do.
Here, we'll send an email. Congratulations, Victor. He is here.
We'll do it like hashtag sunset, because that's what this is called. Sunset teaser. How about that? Skull. We got some Vikings. We got some Viking fans in the crowd. All right. I love it. Oh, by the way, if you guys aren't following me on Instagram, I'm going to plug my Instagram. Hit me up on @punchfishing on IG. I'm trying to get to. I'm really close to 3,000.
So how many?
When I get to 3,000 people following me on Instagram, I'm gonna do I'm gonna give away a really good spinning reel on my Instagram. I'm really close.
Speaking of, I'm kind of excited about the new Procyon. I think I'm gonna grab one of those.
The MQ.
The monocoque.
Yeah.
Procyon.
No, I would 100% agree with you on picking up the Procyon MQ.
Pete really sold me on his TikTok video about that.
Well, what's cool is the MQ, the monocoque body, has now dropped into that price range. If I was going to bet money next year, we'll see a monocoque Tatula spinning reel and eventually a monocoque Fuego.
But isn't the Procyon is already cheaper than a Tatula, right?
Yes, it's sub 200. So
actually, my like two, not the last vision of the Procyon, but the one before that is actually one of my favorite spinning reels.
Man, my favorite spinning reel changes month to month. I use a lot of them, so I'm always goofing around.
Any port in a storm for you?
Yeah, pretty much. I like. Oh geez, today I was using the Stella out on. So you're gonna love this. I'm out on pool 2. And the guy I was fishing with was throwing a drop shot. And of course I had a Ned rig tied on. So I just threw the Ned rig. And I'm throwing a Ned rig on the Stella and catching like 1 pound smallies on pool 2. A little obscene, like a little ridiculous, but it was fun. I had a good time.
There was a question earlier about that. Let me see if I thought I started.
I have not tried the new Exist. I do want to get it by next season, though. I will have an Exist in my arsenal.
I feel like somebody early on asked, why did you go with the Stella over the Steez, maybe? Is that a valid question?
No, the Steez is they don't make a Steez spinning reel. So I think
maybe that what's the
Exist?
Maybe they said why Stella over the Exist, maybe.
In bass fishing, it don't matter. So here's the thing, Rich. Like you got to remember the Stella.
I'm just saying that was a question somebody else had. I don't have that question.
Oh, yeah. But I'm saying it's literally just because the Stella came in stock on Omnia and I bought it. they have Omnia has not gotten any Exist restocks like all year. Yes. So the new So he's talking about something super niche to Daiwa nerds. I don't know if you know this, Rich, but the Daiwa Japan social media accounts posted a new Steez
Baitcaster?
baitcaster. And I was curious about that. And the information I got, let me pull this up real quick. So Steez came out with what's called the Steez HLC. So Hyper Long Cast. It's a JDM exclusive version of a Steez HLC. So apparently this new Steez that Daiwa teased is an HLC with a normal 34 millimeter spool. So they took the HLC frame and reel that they've been designed as the HLC, and it's a different spool in it, and they're calling it a new Steez. Daiwa is really good at like taking the same shit and just putting different spools in it and calling it a completely different product. It's kind of what they do, especially in Japan. So it's not really, I doubt it's even going to be sold in the US. In the US right now, you get the Steez A and you get the Steez SV. You get two Steezes in the US market. That's it. And they've been like that for a while now. They've been dropping some newer Steezes in the Japanese market, the Steez Limited, the Steez HLC, and now this new one that they just announced. But they're not going to be like in stock at Omni or Tackle Warehouse like anytime soon. Does that make sense?
Sure. I won't be buying a Steez.
Steezes are good.
I think the Zillion is I think that's where I cap out.
I will say though that if you the amount of refinement that's in the Steez has trickled down to the Zillion. So like you're not missing anything from going from a Zillion to a Steez. It's just that they've taken what they've learned on the Steez and dropped it into that Zillion. Like the Zillion feels as refined and as user friendly as a Steez. I have a really hard time telling anybody to buy a Steez when you can just get a Zillion. Like they're amazing reels for the price. Yeah. And now with the yen crashing, people are picking up JDM Zillions for under $300 left and right. Like you can get really good prices on Japanese Zillions with the yen to USD conversion right now.
I also check my IG, so this is not insinuate that HellaBass does not check his IG. So you can also follow me if you're on Instagram.
Yeah, what is up with that? That's some shade at you, I think. I'm always replying. Dude, my Instagram DMs are obscene. Like everyone's messaging me about stuff all the time. Look at this. Like it just goes on and on and on. My wife's like, "Who are you talking to?" And I'm like, "I don't know. Just people who are messaging me on Instagram." She thinks I'm like chatting up someone. I'm like, I just get messages on Instagram and I reply to them.
Colby says he likes the Dobbins Maverick at the $100 price point.
I haven't tried one of those. Do you like them? Have you tried one?
No, I have not held one in person.
Rabid baits.
No, Raid.
Oh, Raid baits. What's Raid baits?
JDM.
Oh no!
If you see South J's Fisherman 20, it's a JDM question.
No, I have not tried anything from Raid. Oh, Vanford Distract. That's a great question because I own both. Have you tried the Vanfords or the Stratics for spinning?
I thought the Vanford replaced the Stratic.
No. Oh. So they're both sold. The Vanford is about $30 more than a Stratic, and it's got the lightweight body material. So the Vanford is like the CI4 Plus. So the material of the Vanford is lighter than the Stratic, and so they charge you more for it. So the Stratic is heavier than the Vanford. Does that make sense? So like it's Shimano's got their like lightweight graphite composite material, and that's the Vanford. It's the new CI4 Plus. So you're paying a little bit of a premium to get the Vanford to be lighter weight. That's pretty much it. They both have the long stroke spools. They both are. So the Stratic to me is like, if you just need a workhorse reel, you want to beat the crap out of it, and you want to save $30, get the Stratic. If you really need a lightweight version of the Stratic, you bump up to the Vanford. Does that make sense? It's all about weight. If you don't care about the weight, just get the Stratic. If you want the lightest material possible, you get the Vanford. That's it. That's all you. That's the decision point is just weight.
Yeah, I'm still rocking my CI4s.
Yeah, so the Vanford is just the latest version of the CI4 Plus.
I'm not. I used to be really big about like swapping out my reels every year or two, and now I just keep using them. I'm too lazy.
Yeah, I'm talking about the Stratic FL.
It is not a zucchini muffin milkshake. It is what is left of a Kraken Diet Dr. Thunder, as usual.
And I have a little bit. I've just been sipping off some Michter's bourbon tonight. I'm just doing. At this point, I'm drinking it straight because I ran out of ice.
And now I'm basically just eating ice because I don't have any more booze and it's upstairs.
So you have the ice and no booze, and I have the booze and no ice. We have a problem here. We could fix. I haven't tried the new Exist. When Omnia gets some Exists back in stock, I will definitely grab one. But no, I don't have an Exist yet.
Nobody's won yet. Critical Gravy.
Ooh.
Derek, we talked about this early on. The short notes is they overextended themselves with inventory. They didn't sell it, and it's basically a financial thing.
They didn't have a great summer sales period in there. They're a little underwater, so that's what I've been told. So there's really not a big difference from the USA and JDM versions of the Zillion. So Rich, do you know the difference? There's one key difference. So the US Zillions have a brass gear, a brass main gear, and the JDM Zillions have aluminum. So the JDM Zillions are a little lighter, but they figure that US Anglos beat on their reels a lot more. They throw heavier baits. So they put the brass gears into the US version because it'll just take more wear and tear. That's really the only difference. And the handle knobs are slightly longer on the US version. So brass gears versus aluminum and a little bit longer knobs. That's the only difference between the Japanese and the US versions.
So US has longer knobs?
Yes. Yep. We get longer knobs than the brass gear.
So if you want it for a jig, flip, and frog, get the US version. Maybe?
It doesn't matter. The aluminum
maybe
all that stuff right? Too. I've had the JDM version and the US version, and you really can't tell a damn difference. They feel the exact same.
That's why I keep using the Omnia code so I can save money to buy my bass boat. The more money I save, the more.
Dude, I want to get a ride on your new boat. We got to do something in the spring.
We are running out of time this year.
Yeah, I want to go in the spring out on your Camus.
All right, 78, last call.
Let's do it. Sunset
to draw it right now, John. This is your chance.
Last chance to enter the giveaway for a Respect Series 110 that is no longer for sale. You have to pick it up on the aftermarket, and you could theoretically flip this for about $50 to $60, but you'll be a bad person if you do. You should just use it because it's awesome. This is out of my private stash, people. I'm losing money by giving this out to people.
You are not.
That's how much I love our community. I'll take a hit.
All right. We hit 80. Boom.
Let's go. Who's getting my private 110?
Scott Vermonter.
Do you know Scott? Do you know who that is? I
recognize him from being on here. I know I saw him in the chat earlier.
I will need Scott's name and address so I can mail him his bait.
So yes, you'll have to actually DM Punch Fishing.
Or one of us.
You can get, or me, if it's easier, and then I will forward your information on to...
That's it. They might not be on Instagram. What's your email?
rich@richlingren.com.
So rich@richlingren.com. Email him your information if you're not on Instagram.
And he is a member.
Nice. All right. So
because you're a member, he's going to throw in a Metanium with the jerkbait. So that's cool. Oh, wait. He's going to throw in some JDM swamp crawlers with it just because you're a member.
I could throw in. I got some random stickers and shit I could throw in. But yeah, Scott, hit up Rich. Just someone give me your address. I need your mailing information. I will mail you a beautiful 110 Respect Series Sunset teaser for hanging out with us tonight. Appreciate it. How long have we been on now?
What?
How long have we been streaming?
2 hours and 9 minutes.
2 hours? Seriously? We're longer than a movie now? Good God. All these degenerates are still hanging out on the stream. We got over 100 people still.
I used to have a Falcon rod a long time ago. I used it as a jig rod. I really liked it, and I don't remember if I broke it or sold it or something. But I haven't had one in 15 years. But
I've never.
We just don't see them up. I don't mean like
they're at Walmart
for a minute, maybe. I think for a little bit. I don't even know if Capra's ever even had Falcon. I feel like I bought a Falcon when I was in Texas once on one of my like Lake Fork trips or something, and bought one when I was down there. But they're not up here. I mean, obviously the internet, you can order anything.
Literally, the only place I've ever seen Falcon in person is at Walmart up here.
Really?
Yeah, they got Falcon rods at Walmart. I've never seen them at any. I've never seen them at Cabela's, any of our local shops. In a good, I said this is longer than a movie, and someone said in a good movie it was. I love it. Don't work north of the Mason. That's probably true.
Not bad for a makeshift thrown together last minute stream. I think I literally DM'd Brian at like 6 o'clock. I
was leaving the ramp at pool 2 when you messaged me. I was about to hit the gas station, that Speedway over there, to go like get some soda because I was thirsty. And then you messaged me. I was like, yeah, why not?
Right on. Yeah, so I hope to get out fishing. I don't have any travel plans, so we should be back. I hope to get a video edit. I was totally going to do more editing when I was on vacation, and just wasn't happening.
So tell me about like let's ask you, I'm going to ask you a question. How's your, like, have you been fishing the last month? Like, how's your fall fishing in Minnesota been?
So I fished the fall brawl, which was on October 7th.
So that was a couple weeks ago. Yeah.
Got the prize pack, just missed a check there. And then I did go out on Orchard.
Okay.
The Saturday before I left for Mexico. Did all right. Caught like 10 or 12 in a few hours. Nothing great, but
goof around on a local lake. That's cool.
I do. People, if anybody in this audience has artistic design that can help me design a logo for a sticker and stuff like that, I will. I would much prefer to hire somebody that understands the vibe here than trying to explain it to some stranger on Fiverr. I don't really have an idea. So if somebody's got a good idea or can sketch something up, I would gladly reward you if you could design me a HellaBass type logo.
It needs to have like a swim jig or a vixen.
Or a visor.
Or visor, yes. I agree. A cutoff hat. That's the obvious one, right? Dude, my fall fishing has been really good. So I have a camper over in Wisconsin, and the campground that my camper is at is on a so there's this river that goes down the middle of northwest Wisconsin called the Namakagon. So there's the Namakagon River. It hits this dam, and there's a lake at the dam, and my campground is on this lake. Fishing this lake sucks in the summer. Like, it's really hard to get a bite. But in the fall, it goes off. So like the last couple of weeks, I've been continually going to the lake that my campground is at and just keep hitting the same lake over and over. And the fishing has been fantastic. I've been catching like 14-inch crappies. I've been catching giant walleyes. I've been catching like 2-3 pound smallmouth. It's just like the fishing is bonkers out there right now. And I've been trying to like sneak there every weekend subsequently just to keep fishing this, like, basically a river, because no one else is fishing it. I go out on this lake by myself all day, and I'm the only boat. I have this whole place to myself, and the fish are just chomping. So it's kind of fun to like fish multi-species in the winter, plus catch a bunch of big bass wherever kind of you want. It's crazy. So I've been doing that a lot the last couple of weeks.
Derek, from what I know of the Ozarks this time of year, is get a buzzbait and a whopper plopper and just burn down the bank until you find them.
That sounds fun. I would do that.
That's what I would do, Derek.
Good advice.
And then once you start to figure out, like, are they on rock transitions or points, then you can, once you get a couple bites, then just run that,
Nice.
Pockets, points, transitions.
I cracked my new PB walleye last weekend, which was pretty awesome. That was really fun. I don't know if you saw that picture, but I caught this giant walleye, which I was scouting a smallmouth spot with a football jig. This walleye cracked the football jig and started swimming off, and I thought I had a muskie because this lake has muskies and it was acting really musky like. It was really heavy and on the bottom. It was just kind of slightly head shaking, but it wasn't like you couldn't bring it up. But ended up catching this giant 30-inch, almost 10-pound walleye.
Nice.
And I was so happy. This is great. I got pictures. I measured it and everything. I let it go. It was like the highlight of my weekend last weekend was catching my new personal best walleye. I know you're not a big walleye guy, but it was pretty fun.
Walleye for food, not sport.
I like them for both. I'm a closet walleye fan. Like I'm like a bass guy, but I will definitely go out and target walleye and go walleye fishing.
Gunview TV, if you live up where I live, I would say as you get the end of October, early November, that gets to be blade bait time of year.
But we're getting into that. We're right on the cusp of November, right? And the lakes are still wide open. So like we absolutely will be fishing into the first week or two of November. Like no question. Like it has not gotten that cold up here yet, right?
I mean,
especially down your area.
Things can happen quick here, but yeah.
It's true. That's true, but I think the water. I think we'll still be out fishing next weekend, like a week from now.
That's a good point. I do need to film that. I didn't do a proper walkthrough of the Slamus, so we need to do that.
I want to see this boat in person.
I was loaned my Dobbins spinning reel from Brian Kasperzak, so once I did the review of it, I gave it back to him. So you'd have to ask Brian if he was in the chat, or when you see him in chat next time, if he's fished it at all.
How much was that thing? Is that $100?
$100.
Did you feel it was a compelling alternative to a Fuego?
I mean, it's up there. I'm not gonna say it's better than the Fuego, but it's
fair enough.
Yeah, I don't know what this is, Nate.
How do you feel about building a YouTube video subscription account for his 14?
Does that mean he made like a paywall for his 14-pounder video? When you say a subscription account, I'm not sure what that means.
Yeah, I don't know what that means at all.
I guess I'm out of
clarify, Nate. What do you mean by that?
This was the chat was from like an hour ago.
I don't even sub to Milliken. Do you? I don't watch any of his stuff.
I might be sub to him, but like if you don't watch it, then
no, I don't know, dude. My YouTube content is mostly non-fishing stuff these days. Pool 19 was what's Pool 19? Do you know what that is? I don't know what Pool 19 is.
I was red. I kind of let the. Kind of went a little light on the sunscreen at the end of the week. I figured I wouldn't see the sun for a long time.
Are you sunburned from Mexico? You don't look too bad.
Little bit, not bad.
Yeah, you don't look singed, dude. Look at this. I got windburn from like running around on boats the last couple weekend. Like my face is like hurts right now.
Tyler's is he on right now or is he?
I don't know who hook sets are free. I don't know who that is. Do you know who that is?
Yeah, we talked about him earlier. I told you he was the one I saw the Macbeth on.
Oh, got it.
Let me see if I can do a live redirect. He may or may not have it.
I don't. Dude, the only live streams I watch are yours, Baxter's, and Debo's. Like those are really the only like live fishing streams that I check out when they're on. Oh, and Gramps, obviously. So Gramps, Debo's, you, and Baxter are kind of my live fishing universe. Like those are the streams I watch when you guys are doing them.
He's on right now. I don't think he's got it set up, so I can't send him there. He needs to. Let's see. Well, since we're going to be wrapping things up, I'm going to get a link out here so we can send people there that want to.
Oh, Pool 19.
Their streams going.
2 weeks left for sure. Yeah, I think we got good 2 weeks left of good open water fishing here. How do you like the Addermine compared to the whip snake? The new Addermine is a question mark because no one's actually touched it yet. So keep that in mind. The whip snake. So the Addermine is more fast. The whip snake has a more deeper, bendier. The whip snake is more like a medium to medium light, whereas the Addermine is more of a traditional medium. So I would say if you're thinking about getting the Addermine, you're waiting until the P5 version of the Addermine comes out, just wait and pick it up. I'm sure it's going to be awesome. But if the Addermine can do a lot of stuff besides drop shot, the whip snake is more of a straight kind of drop shot rod. Does that make sense? Whip snake's more bendy. Addermine's more fast. So decide on what you want. But the new Addermine, I haven't touched it. I don't know. I have the old Addermine, which is awesome, but the new one's a totally different rod, so I don't know. X-Pride B, I have not touched. So Rich, X-Pride, they've launched a new version of the X-Pride this year. Shimano has been terrible about getting them actually out to people.
Shocker.
I have yet to actually pick up the new refreshed X-Pride, and it's been out all year. Like, I have not impulse bought one. Shield's got a bunch of them, but that was kind of it around here. Capras have never got them in. Thorn is still selling the old X-Prides. They haven't even gotten the new ones. Capras haven't gotten the new ones. Omnia got a little shipment of the X-Pride Bs, and they flew out, and they haven't gotten them back since. So I'm not in a big hurry to go out and get the X-Pride Bs, but I do want to pick one up. Shimano's been really, really bad at getting out product this year. Like, I don't know if it's the economy and
last year.
Yeah, last year too. Good point. Fair point. But yeah, like getting new Shimano stuff is brutal right now.
Yes. Tacklecraft does have very entertaining, like, lunchtime to mid-afternoon streams.
I'm working during the middle of the day. I would love to sit around and watch fishing streams in the middle of the workday. That'd be great. I'm on calls all day for work. That'd be awesome.
Yeah, so I posted a link if anybody wants to check out.
Nice.
Hook sets are free. Make sure you say HellaBass sent you. Yeah, so it sounds like Milliken put that one behind his memberships.
Oh,
I mean, obviously, like, I do some members only lives, right? Like, so I mean, if that was the only thing he had on his membership, but I mean, if that's his first piece of content and he's gonna do more members only videos, then I think it's totally makes sense. I mean, I think
I will say this about Milliken. I don't love it. I don't like eat up his content, but he knows what he's doing. Like the guy clearly has really good chops for making YouTube content, and he knows the market. He knows his audience. Like I wish I was as successful as he was. He's buying new houses and building ponds, and like he's killing it. So whatever he's doing is obviously the correct.
No, absolutely.
Path.
He's a good angler. I mean, some of his you bet, like some of that gets a little over the top for me, but like, yeah, he knows his stuff, and like you can learn stuff, and it's a little bit of slapstick and a mixture of learning and something.
Yeah. No, I'm not a hater on Milliken by any means. My YouTube consumption is very little fishing these days. Like I'm watching a lot of other stuff.
Most of my fishing YouTube is hanging out in other people's live streams.
That's great. There's nothing wrong with that because you're actually interacting and it's a human element.
Like I don't watch a lot of standalone videos. Most of my other standalone videos are like the videos about YouTube or lighting or things or some of that stuff, like to get better and maybe looking up like stuff about YouTube or.
So you see, that means you're curious and you're a learner. You want to like learn things when you're watching.
Yeah, or like thumbnail designs or that kind of stuff. But
I consume so much non-fishing YouTube content. Like I'm watching stuff. I like music, so I'm watching a lot. I follow a lot of musicians and bands I like and their YouTube channels. So I'm watching like music videos and things like that. So I love music. I'm watching a lot of You and I both like cooking content, so I'm watching like cooking stuff. I'm watching a lot of video game content, which is weird, but I like watching video game content. I'm watching a lot of. I work in cloud tech, so I'm watching a lot of stuff around like AWS and Azure. So I'm watching like tech videos. And then what's funny is like I'll watch through my YouTube stream, and when fishing videos come up, I almost always scroll past them. Like I very rarely like jump in on a fishing video. You want to know something weird? I don't fish keep. Like I don't have a single aquarium in my house, but I've suddenly started watching a lot of YouTubers who are like into like building aquariums and like fish keeping. I don't know why. Like I watch stuff that I don't know anything about and I get drawn in by it. Do you do that same thing where you just see some random hobby or thing and all of a sudden you like go down a rabbit hole of like watching a bunch of people?
A little bit, not much. No.
That happens.
I'm looking through my YouTube history to see like if there's anything weird that stands out. I will say like actually like bait making videos a little bit. I'll do that.
Bait making.
like
I will watch bait making videos when I'm about to go to bed because it helps me relax. And sometimes I'll fall asleep to people who are like grinding and making crankbaits. I've done that before. It'd be cool to keep a pet smallie. Yeah, keeping pet bass is tough because once they outgrow their tanks, you either have to get a giant tank or you gotta let them go. Like you can't keep a big bass in a small tank. That's kind of inhumane. I'm watching both streams right now. Whose audio do you have on though? That's the question. Who are you listening to? You can watch both at the same time, but who you're actually hearing?
All right. Well, we're at 2.5, so I think.
Oh yeah, we've been going way too long.
So, like I said, we're gonna come back late November. So about a month, we're gonna be doing a big giveaway. We're gonna do one of these. We're gonna do a blind opening $100 box. So we'll be giving away basically 2 $100 Omnia boxes after discounts. So they're probably gonna be more like $120 boxes.
Yes. So yeah, we're gonna blow it out. What last Black Friday we did $50 boxes, so we're gonna double it this year. We're gonna do $100.
Yeah.
So Sobe's Tournament Tuesday videos are fantastic because he puts insane production into like a Jackpot Tuesday tournament. You know what I mean? He puts as much production in like people's elite videos as he does in his little like weeknighter jackpots, which is that's awesome. So
or should I be a regular guest on punch fishing, ripping bento boxes? Might be a better plan.
Dude, we should do that again next month. Let's rip I'll let you.
We'll do like a shorter stream, but we'll like box it. We'll just go live for like 15 minutes, and we'll do I'll blind react to the bento box or something.
I'll do my bento box unboxing video, and then I'll let you react to the bento box video, and I want to hear you shred it.
There you go.
That would be highly entertaining. I think that's a great idea. Let's do that next month.
Yeah. So if you came in late, you can catch the replays, Facebook, YouTube, all the places, MP3, put it on podcast for those like to exercise, drive, listen to podcasts. That's all out there. And otherwise, yeah, it was good. Fun. We'll go back in the stream here. I'm going to get some videos out. It's going to be good. I'm going to hopefully go fishing the next couple weekends. We still got open water. And other than that, thanks for coming on last minute, Brian. It was fun.
Oh, dude, thanks
most people enjoyed it.
Thanks for inviting me, man. This is fun. I haven't done this in a little while, and it's always good to hang out. And we're gonna do a badass Black Friday mystery dual unboxing video. That's gonna be fun.
Yeah. And one last shout out for Arsenal Fishings for supporting the channel and the stream.
They're doing their big. You didn't plug their big Halloween.
Oh, yeah, they had their big sale event for Halloween, October.
Yeah, Dan, I talked to Dan, and he was like, "I've been working on the website for." Like he spent an entire day getting the website all straightened out to do their big Halloween sale. So he was putting a lot of work into getting the website all up to date with all the latest product stuff they got going on.
Speaking of Drastic Plastics, we I don't know if you saw this earlier, but we sneak peeked this thing for future.
Oh, that's the guy, Drastic Plastics?
Yeah.
I'm gonna have to look them up now that you plugged them. So because they're in Wisconsin.
Yeah, I have no idea what's in the bag. I honestly don't know a ton about it. But so yes, Arsenal is running 25% off everything through October 31st, and then every day they've got daily deals. Like right now, it's like buy a wacky tool, get. So yeah, I guess the wacky tool is in stock at Arsenal.
Ooh, that's a good pickup. I like Arsenal's hats. They look cool. I actually wear my Arsenal hats like when I'm working all day. So I have like a bass on my head when I'm taking calls with customers and stuff. Yeah, the Arsenal hats are awesome. The sun shirt, dude, I rocked the Arsenal sun shirt all summer and I liked it. It was really nice. So yeah, their sun blocking gear is good. I rocked that Smalley Smasher. The Smalley Smasher beanie, I have it in my boat all the time. Like it's in my boat. It lives in my boat. And when it's cold, I throw it on. So that's like my boat beanie is the Smalley Smasher one. So I'm a big fan of their apparel.
And Victor is going to be in the Flex Fit here before too long. So, all right, we're going to wrap this up. I'll probably see some of you over at in the pinned comment. I'll see you over at Tyler's stream. Say hi. Tell him I sent you. We'll see some of you guys over there. All right. As always, here to help you guys catch more big bass and suck less.
Thanks. Appreciate it.